welcome back to the Section 10 podcast, episode 491, presented by Underdog Fantasy. It is the home of your 55-49 third place Boston Red Sox. My name is Jared Carabas, and I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Coley Mick, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Tyler Milliken, and he killed his dog Bullet, and you can't teach that. Bada boom. Realest guys in the room. Steve, how you doing?
Ooh, what up, Section 10 in the building?
In the mother fucking building. Presented by Blue Moon.
Suck one.
Produced by Jake Yazzie. Fuck yeah, Jake. Fuck yeah, Jake. Fuck yeah, Jake.
I think that'll do it.
Yeah, all right.
I need to talk about Danny Jansen.
Why? Why?
I'm
Why?
sorry. Him and James Paxton. Excuse me. Let me include both of them.
Jake.
Not already.
Jake.
Not already.
Yes. Yep. I don't have the soundboard tonight. We're recording at my house. It's 11:13 p.m. Eastern Standard. Coley still has an hour and 20-minute drive home back to Maine tonight. Red Sox just lost a series to the Yankees, and Tyler's like, man, we got to talk about Danny Jansen. Man, do we ever got to talk about Danny Jansen.
Who led the Red Sox in hits tonight?
Who gives a fuck?
I do.
No.
I'll stand up for Danny Jansen.
First of all, you're jumping ahead. Second of all, that's not the vibes.
No.
That's not the vibes right now. The vibes. I'm not giving up. I'm not throwing in the towel. And I'm not even like saying, but kind of saying. I'm just, you just got to take that one on the chin. I'm at the point now where you kind of just, you look at the fucking standings and you're like, all right, are we close? Yeah, we're a game out. I mean, is that loser mentality to be like, all right, we just lost a series to the Yankees. Worst loss of the season on Saturday, and then you get your dicks kicked in on Sunday. I mean, I don't know what to think now that we're winning on Friday and losing on Sunday, apparently.
It's crazy.
I don't like that at all. I don't know what to think about it whatsoever. But that's a thing. I guess is that loser mentality to be like, we just lost a series to the Yankees, but we're only a game out? Like, is that
I think that's just the reality. That's the reality of the situation. The Sox, because the Royals keep losing, and then the Twins will lose, and then the Red Sox will lose. So it's like the opportunity is there to get that last playoff spot. But Lou mentioned something on Friday when we were there at the ball yard that one of these fan bases is going to be like, oh my God, the season's over after the series ends. And so I'm sure a lot of Red Sox fans are like, oh, well, okay, you should sell. Like,
I don't feel that way. It's like they should have won on Saturday. Like, they should have won this series. Like, I think
they
it would
should
have
won
been
every series the second half.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's a big portion that's going to be like insanely negative and maybe a little irrational.
That's every series.
I know. But this
April.
one, the fact that the deadline's in a day changes things a little bit.
2
right?
days.
Well, when this drops.
People listen to this.
Yeah.
It would be
Well, we still have a full 2 days. The deadline's at 6 p.m. It used to be 4. Now it's at 6.
No. A day.
A whole extra 2 hours.
It'd be irrational to like trade real prospects at this point. That would be irrational.
You think so? You're mailing it in, Coley?
I'm not mailing it in. I think it would be insane to trade Campbell and up Nuttown.
What about we're not talking
dig into
Nuttown.
Nuttown.
No,
well, I
we're
think
not.
some of Nuttown was on the table a week ago.
I think some of Nuttown might still be on the table,
No,
but
it
like
can't be on the table.
Well, here's the logic, and this is what Loomer was saying in the group text today, and I agree. If you're gonna like make a Nuttown trade, it's got to be for someone with control past this year. Like make a trade for someone that's gonna be here next year. Like I'm still for that. Look at what the Cubs just did. Like I know it's not a monster trade, but they made a trade for a dude that is, everyone's like, oh, the Cubs were in last place and they're buying. Why are they buying? Like, oh, because they got a player that's going to be there for a while. Like it's for next year and the year after and the year after that.
They're doing their off season now, which I get. And speaking of which, this is also why you should be active in free agency, because then you don't have to trade right now.
Yeah.
You can trade for the margins, not like a key contributor, which they desperately need. Teoscar homered again today, by the way.
Where would you even put him on this team? I guess you just find a spot.
Yeah.
So easily. I mean,
And
Yoshida's
Danny
played
Jansen was
They were
DH
trying to
tonight.
move
30
Yoshida.
games. Yeah, he's like, they've been an unbelievable last 30 games, but it didn't start off that way. He was touring the nation.
Yeah, he was.
So that would have been a perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think. So far, Breslow's shown really no interest in buying. I think he's seen.
He hasn't bought yet.
That's what I mean. And other teams have. Like the Mariners have. The Phillies and Orioles have.
The Phillies definitely have. I mean, the Phillies have paid a steep price, but like they're right there. Like they're in the red zone. Like now is the time to like make trades that are going to hurt a little bit because it's like we're trying to ensure the fact that we win a championship. They've been knocking on the door for 3 years now. Like they've got to win one. You know, they can't be the team that goes to the NLCS every year and doesn't at least get one ring out of this core that they have. So I get it.
Job.
I get paying a premium if you're Dave Dombrowski. He did it here. It worked out. He's doing it with the Phillies. Maybe it'll work out for them too. But if you're the Red Sox, you extend Alex Cora. We were very happy about that. James Paxton, sure, why not? You need innings. Happy about that. Danny Jansen, I guess, fine, sure. I mean, if you're replacing Reese McGuire or whatever, like, okay. But, like, none of those moves are buying at the deadline.
No, I mean, even the Jansen move almost feels like they're clearing space in the minors more than trading for a major league catcher. Like, they don't have enough spots in the minors. They traded a bunch of guys they were probably going to lose in the Rule 5 draft anyways. They weren't going to protect him. They weren't going to put him on the 40-man.
Yeah.
So that more feels like, hey, let's get rid of the jerk-off guy. Let's get Danny Jansen.
Do you think there's a chance?
Control.
Do you think there's a
they
chance
mentioned
that Craig didn't know? And he found out through Cal Quantrill, and he was like, we got to fucking get rid of
Kidding
this
aside, there's a chance that comes up, right? Like,
Everyone knew about the Reese situation. There's no way he didn't.
I mean, the timing is peculiar.
I know.
If Cal Quantrill is just sitting there, I think with Reese, the writing's been on the wall for months. It's like the guy hasn't hit since the first month of the season. He's fine defensively. And it seems like Danny Jansen, allegedly, this front office has liked him for years. They've thought he's the kind of guy. And I know people get caught up in what this season was for him. And I'm not telling you to go crazy over Danny Jansen, but it was a guy who had a 120 OPS for 3 seasons in a row.
This guy wanted to do a full 40-minute segment.
No, but it's like, all right, you can at least understand. I still think they need more from a right-handed bat standpoint. But like, all right, he hit 43 homers in like 220 games. Like there's pop there. You can at least understand where they're coming from on it. I just think they need to do more if that's, their version of buying.
Yeah, I can't do Danny Jansen discourse right now. I'm bummed out about Saturday. And I said this going into tonight's game. I was like, tonight feels like it's got that big fight feel. You win on Friday. We never win on Friday. You get rocked in the jaw. A game that you should have won. A game that you basically did win. I mean, Tyler O'Neill should have caught that ball. We're all in agreement?
100%.
Yeah, we can. I mean, I don't want to jump ahead, but
yeah,
we'll get there.
Tyler O'Neill should have caught that ball.
We don't. There's no joy in talking about Friday. They won Friday. Great.
Yeah, Friday is.
I mean, that's what sucks though. Like, there should be joy because that was the game of the year. Like Friday was a blast. The back and forth. We were there. Fun time. It's like
comeback.
The crowd was going
by 3 in
nuts.
the 7th.
The Bray O'Neill moment
by Judge. It's like you come back after that. The crowd was as quiet as could be. Then the vibes got back on the Rafaela homer, and to come back and win. Then Kenley boys were up. I mean, everything was happening. Everything was happening.
But even in that game, you still got what's the major theme for everyone right now, and it was the Zach Kelly moment where holy shit, bullpen depleted, gives up this bomb. Or 2 bombs,
I mean,
really.
I thought it was worse on Saturday against Judge when he just threw 5 straight 98-mile-an-hour fastballs.
He wanted him to go deep. That was crazy.
I think it was more like I need to redeem myself and I need to like show dominance by just blowing 98 by him. But it's Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to not hit that. So I don't know. I mean, we're jumping all over the fucking place right now.
Well, it's like they're 2-7 since the All-Star break, and they should be realistically 6-3. 5-4 at worst.
5-4 at worst. They've scored like 6 runs a game post All-Star break, and they're 2-7.
2-7. Obviously, like the Colorado game where they gave up 45 runs, and
they probably should have lost
career
that.
Ended. Yeah, like they lose that.
That could have gone either way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give them a sweep over the Dodgers. Like that doesn't feel correct, especially since they won none of the games. So, but 2 out of 3 feels reasonable there. 2 out of 3 against the Rockies feels super reasonable considering you led in 2 of the 3 games. And then this series, you should have at least won. Like, you're not going to win this Sunday game. The Yankees were in control the whole night. Should have been another 2 out of 3. Instead, you're looking at 2-7. Like, this team needs so much. And it just to be competitive. Like, the bullpen's shot. You've got guys that are hurt. It happens. It happens to everybody. Casas is just about to start his rehab. Feels like it's a little too late.
But even the guy that's like, not to jump ahead, who's anchoring your rotation so far this year in Tanner Houck, he looks tired. He looks gassed at this point. Like 3 out of his 4 starts this month have featured 3+ walks and more walks and strikeouts. Like that's the guy who you kind of always leaned on and said, hey, at bare minimum, I know Tanner Houck's going to give me that start. Well, he's now thrown more innings than he has in any professional season of his career. And I think that's where the Paxton conversation goes. And it's like, well, no, they do need more than that. Like Paxton's at his inning total from the year before and has injury concerns. Who is going to help pick up the slack at Tanner Houck as he runs out of gas?
It's just not just the rotation right now, though. Like seeing that Spear tweet of 7 of the first 8 games post All-Star break, they had blown a lead in the 7th inning or later. That's just inexcusable. It can't happen. I mean, even to the extent that almost can't happen with the scrubs they're pitching. You would think you'd be lucky enough to have a couple of those be wins, even with guys that shouldn't be, coming out of the bullpen. So the answer is obvious. You got to get guys. You have to get relievers. Like you need relievers right now. You needed them a week ago, and you were close enough to the deadline where it wasn't like you'd have to, send these other teams everything you got to get a couple of relievers. But obviously, the asking price is high.
I'm going to ask a question to everyone, and I want you to hang on to that answer. The question is, Tuesday's a trade deadline. That's a declarative
fact. Good job.
Can the Red Sox even do enough to help what this team needs?
Do we save the answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
The MLB season is in full swing, and Underdog Fantasy wants to make it a lot more interesting. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats, strikeouts, total bases, home runs, and so much more. Make entries of all baseball or mix and match across your other favorite sports. You can win up to 100 times your money, and it's a ton of fun. Can you wager a little scratch on Olympic basketball? Can you do that?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
And we're also doing specials throughout the Olympics for Team USA.
What kind of specials?
There was one on Sunday for over a 0.5 point for LeBron James, which he crushed.
What about Larry Hughes? We have Larry Hughes specials?
Not yet, but we're looking into it.
Okay. Make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared. That's Jared to get up to $250 in bonus cash and a special pick on Underdog. That is Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. Before you answer the question, Coley took a monster shit after the game.
It wasn't that bad this time.
So
the fart was bad.
Proud of you,
The
Coley.
fart was bad.
My girlfriend came home. She had a headache, and she fell asleep on the couch downstairs. And Coley was like, I'm ordering coffee because we had a late night. He's got a long drive home. And he's like, the second I get that coffee, I'm unleashing this shit.
Well, I didn't want to do it like the room we're recording is attached to the bathroom.
I understand.
I'm not a coffee guy. Is this what coffees do? Do they just make you poop immediately?
No.
So hold
it was
on,
because
hold on,
I was
hold
going
on,
to pick it up downstairs. I was going to use the
Oh,
bathroom.
okay.
downstairs.
And that's where the bathroom is. Okay.
So he didn't specify that the second the coffee touched his fingers that he needed to shit.
Okay.
Like he didn't. I don't even think he took a sip.
No, it was in Dunkin' Donuts has these wild delivery bags, so that would have been impossible.
Yeah.
But Coley told us during the live stream, he's like, I am holding my shit right now. Like I am
Oh,
trying
yeah,
to get
Well,
to
you
the
could
end.
tell the fart
a
was
lot.
like a poop fart. It was one of those like
Yeah, it was
poop
one of
was
those,
very
like, hey,
close
knock,
to the
knock,
fart.
it's a shit.
Yeah. The poop like said farewell to the fart. Like I'm coming soon.
Yeah. So like it was almost like a situation where like I had to like go downstairs and save her. She was asleep on the couch and I was like, pew, pew, pew. Babe, wake up. Wake up. We gotta go.
She was wide awake.
We gotta get out of here. And Coley is making his way to the back. He's in the door frame. And I'm like, we gotta go now.
Bombs are coming. They're firing.
We gotta get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. And then the door slowly shuts and she's like, open her eyes. She's like, okay, I gotta get out. And I was like, it's too late. It's too late. I had to dive on her and cover her body. And all you hear is I'm just laying on her. I'm just like, get down, get down, get under the pillows. And after the first wave hit, I was like, get your head down.
This is our chance.
Move now. And I fucking put the blanket on her, put her head down, and rushed her upstairs like she was the president of the Secret Service. It's like, we gotta get out now. If we're gonna get out alive, we gotta move now. And man, that was
He went down there and he goes, we have precious seconds. And as I sit down, I was like, should I blast one? And all I can hear is him laugh. Could you hear me laughing too? Yeah, me and him are just laughing. And then it wasn't even a loud one. I controlled it well. It was like a soft serve machine.
I almost swallowed all my dip spit because I had
And
like
then you just start pooping.
You just puked all over.
I had a wad in the side of my cheek, and I was laughing so hard that it was tightening my face and it was squeezing all the juice out of the dip going down my throat. So I'm laughing, going like up against the wall, trying not to swallow all my dip spit, and all I hear is Coley chuckling,
Launching shit out of his ass.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So we come here, we eat Papa Gino's, no free ads, and for whatever reason, it just dominates my stomach.
Yeah.
This is the second immediate shit I've needed to take. Usually I can hold it. It's not a big deal. When I'm here, it's coming out.
That means you're comfortable, though. That's a good thing.
I'm not comfortable. It's very uncomfortable.
No, it's just that he'd be dead if he didn't do the poop.
Yeah.
Red Sox win 9-7.
It's a shame, too, because there's only one pitcher worth talking about in a positive light in this series. And
Brian Bayo.
yeah,
He was fine.
He was fine again. He was
I could have
fine.
used another inning.
Yeah. 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, gave up a bomb. Like, he was fine.
He up a solo home run.
Yeah, he was fine, but he gave it up to Maga Volpe.
No, for sure. He looked Soto and Judge in the eyes, and he was like, "You guys fucking stink." And then it was the 6, or was it 7, 8, 9. That's he just had no answer for.
Grisham went 3-0 Bayo before he started attacking him the next at bat after the Volpe homer.
Yes, yeah.
Man. Friday just feels like a distant memory.
It feels like last
Forever
year.
ago.
Me, Steve, Jake, Emond went to Fenway. We're on the field before the game. We can talk about that. I mean,
Yeah.
that was the first time on the field probably since opening day maybe.
Yep.
And there were a lot of playful, sarcastic, like, oh, now you want to show up? Like, now, where you been? Blah, blah, blah. But which is all fair. I mean, like, we haven't been there a ton this year. Got to see Alex Cora, congratulated him on the extension. Was talking on the stream about how when I was talking to Cora that someone was whacking me in the top of the head and I didn't turn around. I don't know, like if I thought that it was you or I just wasn't processing that someone was hitting me in the head because I was just focused on the conversation with Cora. But I turned around, it was Jason Veritek. I was like, Tech, fist pump. And who else? Saw Duran. He was one of the thanks for showing up guys.
No, he had it locked and loaded. Like we had talked to him right before you had got there. He said, "Oh, the classic. Look who it is.
Yeah,
look who it is."
Yeah,
but hey, a big part of us being there Friday was to get over the look who it is.
Yeah.
It's like,
we
all
were
right,
gonna wear it.
Hey, you can use those
fair.
tonight. You can use those tonight, but that's it.
Yeah, it was fair. Yep. And I think the big lesson that we learned from being there on Friday was that people want more of the at Fenway content. I feel like people really enjoyed the stuff that, I mean, it wasn't anything crazy that we did.
Yeah.
But just like filming stuff live from the game, people were into it. So we got to do more of that.
Did you see Winky?
He walked right by. I didn't even notice him.
He walked past you. You were talking to somebody.
Yeah. But I don't even know.
We're still working on that.
I guess.
Does it even need to be worked on?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, they're besties. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the defender of the Rockies?
Oh.
Jared Duran? Trevor Story. I did see him. I didn't.
Peacekeeper Trevor Story, please.
No.
I saw him. I didn't get to catch up with him.
Like if
You had like he
the
punched
Red
someone
Sox,
on the Red Sox.
If the Red Sox were me walking to Jared's bathroom, Trevor Story was Jared, and the Rockies were Jared's girlfriend, and he dove right on top of him to save him.
Do you want to talk about that story?
Yeah,
it's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Castillo McAdam combo piece
Yeah, this guy sucks.
where
Castillo in extra spoiler mode in the finale. No jumping ahead.
Not jumping ahead here, but yeah.
This was Reese McGuire's like farewell. Like this article felt like the goodbye to him.
Yeah, he did take the high road though. He didn't talk after the game in Colorado, and then when he was asked about it for the next series, he was like, "Yeah, I'm just glad my teammates had my back." But apparently, some unnamed Red Sox players wanted to beat down the doors of the Rockies clubhouse to beat the shit out of Cal Quantrill. I think we can all guess who those individuals were just based on who was actually mad during the kerfluffle and who didn't really care that much.
Had to be Weissert.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Kenley.
The bullpen should fight in the outfield. I do believe in that.
If it's really that heated, why not? I guess.
Why do you have to run to the infield to start squaring up?
Those relievers running into the scrum in Colorado had no idea what was going on. And according to the story, the Red Sox didn't even know what Quantrill said until after the game. Then they'd probably check Twitter and saw the 1,000 tweets of people posting the video and with the caption and all that. But I think it's cool that they wanted to defend him that bad and like they had some fight in him, but it's like you just got your asses kicked like 20-9. Like it just get on the plane and focus on the next series.
Yeah, I didn't really. I read that and almost laughed. It reminded me of that TNT, that Inside the NBA thing, which Cole, you probably remember, where they're like police presence.
But like the key difference between those two is that Chris Paul knew exactly how to get to the locker room. And led his new team there. Trevor Story did the opposite. He was like, it might be over there somewhere. I don't know. Why don't we even forget? Like, what are you doing, dude? He legitimately said, like, I got a lot of friends over there. Cool, go back there.
Also, how many friends does he have over there? Like, Story was, that team, I feel like there's been some turnover, right?
Charlie Blackmon, baby.
Yeah, it's the Rockies. Like, I saw another video of him. They were asking him his lineup the day he debuted, and he was like, Huntley the catcher? Like, he didn't even know.
I almost feel like that would be, a different case if he had just signed with the Red Sox. Like, it was like the first year, but I was like, oh, those are my guys. Like, we can't be running over there.
For him, he probably feels that way. He's played 14 games.
No, it
since
is
he
true.
last played with
It
the
is true.
Rockies, but
his last full season.
He clearly doesn't want to be here. I've never wanted him here. Certainly don't want him here after this shit. It's All-Star break happens. He's like, hey, guys, I can't wait to come back. They've gone 2-7 since he said that.
Yeah. You've always hated Story, though.
I just said that.
Yeah, he did say
At least you own it.
And just said that. And he's done nothing to prove me wrong.
Coley keeps ducking the allegations that he hates Story.
The return in
He
September
just
will
won't
change.
say it.
Just
say it, dude.
Yeah. We all know.
Yeah.
It was a weird story.
Weird story. What was, like, I didn't read the whole thing, but essentially they wanted to, like, fight Quantrill.
They were worried they were going to get to the airport and fight there.
All right.
Yeah.
So the airport, I don't get that at all. The airport. So now you got to find out what plane he's taking.
It's not a great place.
Like, all right,
to
what
fight.
terminal are we meeting this guy?
The Rockies definitely fly Spirit.
Yeah. No, we're not going to do it in the clubhouse. We're going to find him in the airport with all the security in the world. Let's fight him there.
Imagine just beating the shit out, like two baseball players just beating the shit out of each other in the middle of the airport, and people are like shielding their kids. They're like,
Yeah.
never do crack, kids.
We get the report from Pass, and it's like, yeah, Jaron Duran beat the shit out of Cal Quantrill outside of the JetBlue terminal. Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted to happen.
He smashed him in the head with a cup full of fucking cinnamon pretzels.
Got him with Auntie hits.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad the violence was
not had.
Yeah.
That's the way to say it.
Yeah.
I'm just glad the violence was not had.
Can you imagine if A-Rod was talking shit and Tech was just like, guys, let's just let him get to first. It's okay. We're all friends here.
Yeah, we played on Team USA for the World Baseball Classic together in 2006. Yeah, I mean, listen, like I said, I like the fight, but I think it's more so like where was that fight in 2017 when Manny Machado fucking ended Dustin Pedroia's career? Like, go beat the shit out of him in that situation for like making fun of Reese McGuire for jerking off in a parking lot. It's like, I don't know that's the fight in an airport.
What do you even say to him? It's like, damn, you're right. Like,
so what if he jerked off?
You can accuse him of something that didn't happen.
We've all done it.
He wasn't technically in public. He was inside.
He was in a car. It's not that weird. It's during the pandemic. We all did weird shit.
Yeah. He doesn't even have to tell his neighbors when he moves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rob Rushner said he was one of the best teammates he's ever had.
He seems like a chill dude.
Brian Bale loves him. We know that.
No one's saying he's not a bad teammate.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the jerk off stuff, and for good reason recently, but he seems like a really nice guy. And even at the park on Friday, he was signing autographs for kids. I'm like, this is a nice guy that did a weird thing 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And now it keeps coming up. And even with the DFA, I mean, it's a tough time.
Well, it's going to come up again when he signs on with a new team.
No, I know. So it comes up for the DFA. It's going to come up with the new team. And then anything that happens, walk-off grand slam. Wait, isn't that the jerk-off guy? So, like, there's no avoiding it at all. But I think he's handled it well by maybe just not talking about it.
I guess. I mean, in conclusion, I'm glad that the Red Sox will. I mean, the fact that put it this way, they went to the end of the earth to defend Caleb Ort when I said that he sucked. So the fact that they're like, yeah, like if you're on the team, you're one of us. We're going to defend you, even if you jerk off in cars.
That does matter. Like minus the jerk off thing, like the fact that they're willing to stand up for anybody.
Yeah, whatever roster.
You're not
spot
wrong
you
about the
have.
story thing, Coley, but I just think the concept of that is
That's my point. Like he won't do that.
But Story also said he didn't like what was going on. Like he's trying to be a peacemaker. He doesn't want anything to go wrong. Like let's not act like he was like fuck the Red Sox here.
He
like,
took the Rockies side.
He didn't.
1,000%.
He just said he was like I didn't like it, but I was trying to keep everything civil. He's not. Trevor Story is a
who
good
is
guy.
he to have a voice in this?
He's a player on a team.
Jay, let's
He's
ask
one of the
Jacoby
veterans on the
Ellsbury.
team.
No, false.
He is one of the veterans on the team. True or false? That's just a
That's
fact.
false. Super false.
Legit, he held Camp Story and
He's
had
a
a lot of
veteran
these
that
young guys.
happens to be on the team.
How many
That's
ground
what it
balls did they not field today?
All right, what do you want from
camp,
him?
dude. You just gave him credit for this fucking
No,
camp.
but we're talking leadership. And who in the infield today was at Camp
awesome
Story?
leader.
And who in the infield today was at Camp Story?
So he invited
Was
the
Jamie
wrong guys?
Westbrook there? Sorry, he didn't predict Jamie Westbrook was going to be playing middle infield for them. Don Rafaela was not planning to be in the infield at that point. Rafael Devers did not show up.
He should have had
Vaughn Grissom's in
Rafaela there.
AAA.
He would have known.
Tristan Casas is on the IL.
He absolutely should have
David
been like,
Hamilton
I
didn't
know
play.
I'm not going to be playing this year, so Rafaela should be here.
Let's not. We don't have to demonize Trevor Story here.
I like Trevor Story.
What demon? He's just bad at baseball.
All right,
He shouldn't
well,
be
let's
on my
not act
team.
like he said "fuck the team" and he was like, "Hey, I'm
took the
joining the
Rockies'
Rockies."
side. This
He
is
said
so
he didn't
cut
like
and
what was
dry.
going on. He just played the middle guy. He said, "Hey, we need
there
to
a
chill."
quote from Story? Was there a quote?
Yes, this is the exact quote.
was the
Here we go.
quote?
I was in a unique position, having been a member of both teams, but I didn't like what had been going on.
That doesn't even say he doesn't like what the Rockies were doing.
When you read the story, that's how it reads.
I did read the whole story.
You didn't. You thought he was saying he didn't like what the Red Sox were doing?
It sounded like he didn't like that
I did
some
not
of his
take it
friends
that
were about
way.
to get their asses kicked.
I
think
looked at it as he
didn't-
agreed
didn't
that
like
some bad
his-
shit was going
He didn't
on.
like that his former team was going to be the one that was involved, and he probably felt overly awkward that he was the guy that happened to have the common DNA when no one would have thought of that.
Nobody, Jared.
Do you guys think that part of their performance coming out of the break and them getting their asses kicked in that game had anything to do with them wanting to fight over that? I feel like it was more of like we need to get our frustrations out on Cal Quantrill's face more than anything else.
I think that's just who this team is. I think they do ride for each other very heavily.
Oh, they do.
You're
it's
saying the
the
being
whole
pissed off
nobody
about being
believed in
crushed.
us.
Like just getting smoked. That's what you're saying. Like we got to punch somebody because we just lost by 30 runs.
And we've been playing like shit out of the break.
oh, it's that. It's that. Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's not about the jerk off.
If they had won like 7 of 9 and they won 20-9 on that day, like they're just getting on the fucking
No, they're
buses and
laughing
going to
at
the
yeah, they're like LOL that he thought that was going to get under our skin.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, at its core, it's standing up for one of your guys. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
how high or far down they are. Underdog fantasy, by by the way.
Wow, shout
and
out.
Shout out
Kansas
the
City. But yeah, it's just about standing up for your guys, even if the opposing team had a good point.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even a point. It's just like that's what.
It's just
that's
the
what
fact.
happened.
He just stated a
Yeah,
fact.
that's what happened,
It's
yeah.
like, yeah, dude, I did it. Whatever.
Yeah.
But 5-day span to have that, and that was his last game. That was Reese's last game on the team.
That's a tough way to go out.
The jack off scuffle.
Mm-hmm.
So
Maybe he'll make it through waivers.
Red Sox win 9-7. I think. I mean, who
It's
cares?
unlikely, but
Who cares?
Reese at AAA. Cook.
then we're gonna
Him
spend
and
like
Bob?
we're
You
gonna spend
wanna
like
see
a
Reese
half
and
hour
Bob?
on like, what if Reese gets through waivers? Like, I don't. What? Who cares?
Yeah. This game was fun though on Friday.
It was a lot of
I
fun.
had a lot of fun. The energy in the ballpark was great. Alex Cora would have had. I don't know that he would have ended up with the with the catch-up, but he definitely would have got a packet for pinch hitting for Tyler O'Neill and sending up Wilyer Abreu, who came through with a big hit to tie it. And then Massa, just like I hadn't come down from the excitement of Wilyer tying the game to now having Massa coming up and driving in the go-ahead runs. And that is, wasn't it off of Clay Holmes in Yankee Stadium when he hit that bomb when it was 2 outs, 2 strikes?
100%.
Yeah.
Clay Holmes sucks.
Oh, he's awful. He's truly awful. They were talking about, what was it? The Fox broadcast was awful. They were talking about like Masataka Yoshida, big hit, biggest hit of the season for him was off of Clay Holmes last night. It's like, no, he hit a fucking ball into the seats off Clay Holmes.
With 2 outs.
Like, with 2 outs and 2 strikes.
A week and a half ago.
Yeah. Like that game was over. And
that swing like saved his career. It's like, no, it was last night. That was his biggest swing.
yeah,
Yoshida's last
both
month,
big hits, but
he's
In the threes, right?
24 of 75. He's hitting 320 with 409 OBP. I believe his slugging's in the low fours as well. I know it's an 800 OPS. 2 dingers, 8 runs, 16 RBI, only 15 Ks. Like he's
been good.
Looks like the guy from the first half of last year, and everyone in the organization hates him.
Well, you still saw what tonight is the perfect example. He's still being treated like a platoon guy.
Yeah, and it's just like, all right. All right.
They'd rather
obviously
just
don't. No matter what he does, no matter how much he produces, people are just like, nah, he sucks.
They told you that we prefer Danny Jansen to DH.
that was wild.
That's it. They could have put Mazza at DH.
What, 2 for 3 or whatever?
Yeah, he had a couple hits.
Watch out.
But I think the Red Sox just continue to tell everyone, like, yeah, this is clearly how we feel about the guy.
They hate him.
Hate him.
Not that he's hit lefties. It's like 165 this year. But he faced in the first game of the series, he went 1 for 3. Obviously, that hit wasn't off a lefty, but
Yeah, I am kind of tired of pretending like it's going to be a lefty the whole game.
Yeah, they teams change pitchers. I just found that
So
out.
often.
Yeah.
All the time, really.
I just assume the guy that started always goes all 9. It's not
Well,
true.
even the way they set the lineup, it's like, all right, we're going to hit Devers 4th because we want 3 bad righties in front of him. And it's just like, well, are we sure this is going to be the case the whole game?
Friday was fun.
Friday was fun. Kenley kind of saved the rest of the bullpen from being talked about in a negative. I mean, we're still going to talk about them in a negative light, but
Yeah, they were all bad.
yeah, Zach Kelly against Aaron Judge. I mean, I like some people will like look at long home runs and be like, I've never seen one like that. Like I've legitimately never seen a ball hit that far in my life.
Never.
Like at least at Fenway Park to that part of the ballpark.
they
I've
said
never
Jim
seen.
Rice, right? Like that was the comp. It was
Everyone
like,
kept saying
you had
Jim
to watch
Rice.
him.
Yeah.
Like I was probably recording like every big at bat, nothing was happening, and then Aaron Judge hit a ball out of Fenway Park to center field, and I didn't even notice. I had to like watch it back because someone replied like, "Oh my God, what the hell?" I didn't even notice I said that. I was just stunned that somebody like we would stand up there, me and Elaine during the 21 playoff run, the Rally Cups run. Because like that was an easy place to wear the costume and not be like in anyone's way or anything. It's a good view, but you feel like you're you're literally out of the park. You feel like you're at like House of Blues.
Yeah.
I just don't know how it's possible. You have to hit it so high to get the ball out there, but he found a way.
So in real time, I lost it because I saw him. I saw the ball off the bat, and I was watching the outfielders. The outfielders not moving. I was like, "Oh, this is a bomb." And then I start looking into the seats. I'm like, "Where did it land?"
No
I
one's
didn't-
reacting.
Yeah, like I didn't see it land in the fucking seats. And then I looked at the replay. I was like, "Holy shit!" That went over everybody.
Who is in the World Series when Bonds hit it? Who was the guy? Was it Tim Salmon? That was like, that's
Troy
the farthest
Glass
ball I've ever seen hit. That's what the Judge one was.
Yeah.
And they lost.
What was, actually,
lose
like
this.
that home run, what was that the
Waste of time.
7th he hit that? He hit
Judge?
that top 7.
Yeah. They
He
took a
hits
7-3 lead in the 7th and still lost.
He hits that top 7, and then he comes up in the 9th, only down 2, watches 3 fastballs right down the middle, like completely forfeited that game. And that's what's more infuriating about Saturday. Like I believe on the preview for this, I said, don't let them feel like they still have a season after this. Because the Yankees have been spiraling for 6-7 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You beat them in such a demoralizing fashion on Friday. And then Saturday, you have a chance to do the exact same thing again. You just run the exact same play again, and they blow it. And now the Yankees have won 2 straight games. They trade for Jazz Chisholm, and they've got to be feeling a million times better about themselves.
You know they're going to pull off a couple trades in the next 48 hours too.
Yeah, and Yankee fans are probably walking away from that series being like, we should have swept them. And they're not wrong.
I mean, they did steal Saturday, though. It was stolen by both teams, but
What are we watching?
But
some
It's a
weird
wild
stuff on the
scene.
TV
Is this a
right
sport?
A wild scene.
I don't know.
Or what did it? No, that 7th inning made 7-4, not 7-3, but still. The
Yeah.
Sox, I mean, the park was like silent after that home run.
Mm-hmm.
And Rafaela, who always saves his swings for when they matter the most in late inning situations, hits a moon bomb, and that kind of brought him back. It did feel like once they had the shutdown inning in the top of the 8th, it was like, all right, they could actually do this. And shout out to Jake. Jake and I don't want to pat ourselves in the back
Jake
here.
won the game.
And shout out to Eamon,
Shout out,
too.
Jake.
Like, everything we were saying during the game was, like, spot on. We were like, all right, well, this 1-run lead is not going to work. Like, Comebacks happening if they can have a shutdown inning. So Jake was on fire on Friday night.
Shout out to Jake.
Yep.
Good shit, Jake.
I will say for Rafaela, late and close this season, 300, 327, 520, 847, 3 homers. Like actually clutch gene, and there's really no other way to frame it. 43% better as a hitter than he is in normal situations, and 46% better than the typical league average hitter. That's crazy.
Tyler, I'm not playing contrarian here because I agree with you, but this is from an account, Brooksgate.
I love Brooksgate.
Yep, really good account.
I found that account.
Fantastic.
I found that account earlier this year, and I've been talking about it, and it's like he's got good shit, or she. I don't know.
Yeah,
Do you know?
I think it's a he.
How do you know?
I just think it's a he. I have at Brooks _ Gate. Yeah.
You have?
Well, I was asking about why it's called Brooksgate.
Why is it called Brooksgate?
It had to do with like his cat or something that got lost, and they were calling it Brooksgate. Like they put the gate on.
Because it was like controversy.
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh. They find the cat.
I think so. Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
cool.
And Brooksgate, if I messed that story up, my bad. You're a great account. I love you. Brooksgate, great account on
You
Twitter.
never thanked me for putting you on.
Yeah, appreciate you putting me on because now I follow and I love it. Brooksgate on Twitter had this. It was a stat about Ceddanne Rafaela, not Sedane.
It's Ceddanne.
It's Ceddanne. Yeah.
Ceddanne.
Players with the most games where they did not reach base when they had 3+ plate appearances. Ceddanne Rafaela first in the majors.
Oh, yeah. Ceddanne Rafaela,
like,
very boomer bust.
It's, again, we've talked about this before. The stat is not correct. The stat's not right. If you watch the games, yes, maybe technically the stat is correct, but it just doesn't make any sense because I swear in every big spot he gets the hit.
Well, it's that, and it's also, even if he's not going to get the big hit, he's going to do something defensively that's like, oh, damn, he saved a run that night. Or, if he only walks, he's going to steal a bag or set you up in a big spot. It's just he finds a different way to contribute constantly. He transcends analytics. He's like one of the few players I've actually ever seen do that, where the just numbers are stupid to use when you speak about him. Because the eye test tells you something completely different.
And Rookie of the Year odds, he keeps climbing up. I think he's 3rd or 4th now. Luis Heel, for some reason, is still like 2nd. Like,
he's rebounded a little bit,
I guess. Yeah. But Rafaela is always doing something fun.
Yeah. Remember when I asked you guys that question? We were going to answer it after the read, and then we never did it.
Yes is the answer.
What was it?
I don't even know.
That they're going to add. I do think they're going to add.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll see a trade.
The difference is like a couple relievers to make up a game against the Royals.
No, the question is, can they even do enough to plug the holes that need to be plugged?
Yes.
Yeah, they can.
They can?
Why are we so dramatically immediately saying, oh my, like from a week or even 4 or 5
it's
days?
not like before it was like, oh, we need like a back end reliever, but like Zach Kelly was someone that we were depending on, and now he's not been very dependable. Greg Weissert has turned into the new Chase Anderson. Like he's the mop up guy. He went from like, hey, this is someone we can use in the 7th or the 8th in a 1-run game to like, hey, we're down by 6. Get out there, Greg.
I will say, in fairness to Greg, Saturday I would have preferred to have seen him. Now maybe they knew, Chase was going to get DFA'd after the game anyways, so they were like, let's just use him. We'll save Greg tomorrow if it's a real game. Who knows what they were thinking there, but I would have preferred to have seen Weissert there. Putting in Anderson felt like they were just punting, assuming Houck was going to save them on Sunday.
Or Criswell, who ended up just tossing the 9th inning tonight, which weird. Like Alex Cora says, hey, we believe in using him in high leverage spots. Like he's not just going to be a Chase Anderson type pitcher. But I think when you look at the bullpen, part of it is you have guys pitching in roles they shouldn't be. You have guys pitching back-to-back days constantly because, number one, your starters are lacking in innings. 5 innings from Brian Bayo again, where, hey, maybe you could squeeze another 20 pitches when he only throws 80. We know what Cutter did as well. But at the end of the day, you're 1 game behind that 3rd wild card. You are going to get Chris Martin back. You are going to get Justin Slayton back. You just got to survive another really 10 days or so. And you're going to get Tristan Casas back, who's now starting a rehab assignment. So as long as you're in range and you give yourself some of that relief help, there's a lot of baseball left to be played here. You've been fortunate when you've sucked the last 10 days or so that you haven't got kicked back 5 or 6 games and everyone's been winning. But as long, dude, this TV show is crazy now.
I'm trying not to laugh at what we're watching.
No, I looked at it and I was like, what the hell is going on? But even what the offense is doing right now, like doing shit no team has done since 2021, scoring 5 runs in 7 straight games, like Obviously, that ended tonight. The offense has been showing up and doing its thing. You're in position to win these games. You're not getting blown out.
This guy's played multiple games for the Sox this year. Middle infield.
Best cornhole guy ever. He's got no arms.
No arms or
He's
legs.
got nothing.
He's the GOAT.
He's just got hot. This
guess
guy's
so.
all hot.
He was just doing the worm.
I mean, it was money in the bank. He was flushing these shots.
Yeah.
Tyler, all good points. All good points.
All good points, dude.
No, I don't think they don't have to. Like the rehab assignment starts soon for Martin and Slayton, right?
Yeah, they are both actually throwing now, I believe, 90 and 120 feet. Core said he's hoping to have them both back August 9th against Houston.
I think part of Jared's question that I don't know that you're factoring in, we've seen the prices being paid for specifically relievers.
Yeah.
Paying those prices is a retired move. Like I can't be trading multiple top 10 guys for a reliever for a team that has gone 2-7 against not great competition.
Yeah.
Like say what you want about the Dodgers and Yankees, and even the Rockies at home are better than they are on the road. Fine. These are all teams they should have taken each series from, and now they're 2-7. Like that has to factor when you look at the prices. And when you look at guys like a Nick Pivetta, who we were talking about on stream, you can get a fucking lot for that. And then this offseason, you can go and get someone really big. To me, makes more sense.
I'm into the flipping Nick Pivetta and you go and find a controllable starter and do it that way. I know you're out on Jameson Taillon, and the Cubs obviously are walking this weird line where they're getting future pieces to keep them around. But we know they've listened on Taillon. If you want to flip Pivetta and get maybe some pitching prospects you like, and then you flip a couple position players where you're deep at, cool, go after and go cook that way. I didn't expect the world at this deadline one way or the other. I expected you to make moves to make sure you were competitive, and you still need to do more than what you have right now. But can you go find another reliever that helps you bridge there and you're not going to die? No, I'm not asking for an 8th inning guy or a 9th inning guy. Luis Garcia, a 7th inning guy. Like we saw what Garcia just went for the Blue Jays. It wasn't anything ridiculous. Get me something along those lines. That's all I'm asking for. I don't need the world here.
I mean, they can make the playoffs. I don't want to say relatively easily, but I think it's only the Royals you're really going to be worried about. The AL West is going to be battling each other for that division. I don't know if those teams are going to be one of the last wild card spots. I think it's going to be Sox, Royals, maybe mix in the Twins there, trying to get the 5 and 6 seeds. And I actually, call me crazy, kind of think that the front office wants to make the playoffs. I know that sounds wild, but like just based off of Breslow's comments last week, what Kennedy has said, I do think they're willing to make some moves. Obviously, the prices are high. And Cora had mentioned it after the game today. I do agree with him that this 2-7 stretch should not define who the team is. I agree with that. And I think if you ran this stretch 10 times, this is the worst it would have gone.
I agree.
So, I don't know. I don't want to overreact to it, but it really blows when you have these minute, like these singular plays that are flipping series results. Like typically you have enough time in a game to like, all right, well, that's not going to crush us. But the Sox in these late inning situations, I mean, I keep going back to them having multi-run leads in the 10th inning, 2 out of 3 days, and losing both of them. Yeah. And it's like, come on. So that's not who they are. And relievers are going to help.
Not to jump ahead here.
Yeah.
But the starters that we're about to face in Seattle, it's not going to get any easier in this series.
It's not getting easier in the second half. You have the hardest schedule.
I understand they have the hardest schedule, but it's like they've played good baseball against good teams. Like I'm just kind of looking at the starters. Like when we looked at the Stop and Shop look ahead for the series against the Yankees, we were like, yep, win. Like Rodon sucks. Stroman can't pitch. He doesn't strike anyone out, gives up homers, nibbles. And then
those first 2 guys did suck. Like Cortez and Stroman did suck.
Yes. So like, if they're going to struggle against guys like that.
But they didn't.
Well,
like they should have got to him
tonight.
Well,
Rodon,
tonight, yeah.
Rodon,
that's the guy we assumed they were going to crush, and then he's the only one they didn't.
Yeah.
They should have got more runs off of Cortez and Stroman.
They left a lot of ducks on the pond all weekend. That's why it's like I hear the bullpen concerns all second half. And even early in the first half, they just haven't come through with runners in scoring position.
Still scoring runs, though.
No, they are.
You put
they
up
are.
9
But
in
when
that
you're
first
losing
game.
10-8, now you do need these runs
you
that
do
you're
need the
leaving
extra
on,
ones. Yeah.
on the bases. That's where it's infuriating. I mean, we had the back-to-back home runs tonight, followed up by the Rafael Devers triple. with no outs, and you don't get Devers home. And it's just like, awesome, guys. Good job.
If you looked at our Instagram, the 2 reels we put up there, if you didn't see the game tonight, you would have thought the Sox won, like
smoked them
8-1.
9-1, yeah.
We had fun for 3 minutes tonight. And
that was it.
It was in that span. We got Tyler's nipples and we had a Connor Wong Don Gong.
I just wish Breslow had been a little more active in terms of getting reliever help earlier. And I know the prices are what they are.
Yeah, set
but
the
the fact that you got to Colorado and you went through that and then you
Yeah.
said, hey, let's try to go through this series and see what happens. Crazy move, especially when you saw what Bayo gave you the first night. If you're going to cut him at 5 innings, man, you need to do something to give that bullpen a chance. I shouldn't watch Cam Boozer pitch 3 different fucking times in one series. That's absurd.
It very much feels like the reason they were in such a rush to sign Cora is because they knew they weren't going to do much. And you can say, oh, they said they were going to buy after kind of being in and out. It's what they said at the beginning of last offseason, too. Like, it's a lot of talk from the front office, and you can't just ascribe it to one person. It's people who've been there. It's new people, too. It's all of them.
Like, either way, it was always going to come down to what they actually do at the deadline.
For sure.
Yeah, the words don't matter.
Certainly still time, and it's like
Yeah.
they were in on Pearson, and that would have been nice for sure.
Oh, yeah. I completely forgot about that.
Jared, before anybody else, even though he got no credit for it.
That's fine. I don't need credit. I just threw out like Craig ? And then I was like letting people know. But it was Valdez and Pearson, and so basically what happened was, I was tipped off by someone. There was 3 different individuals, and if I named all 3, you'd be like, "Yep, all 3 of those people very much credible and in the know." One person said, "I think Valdez for a reliever is done," and then I asked a second person, and that person said, "Yep, I believe it's just a matter of they need to inform the players before it becomes official." And then the third person said, "Not accurate." And I was like, "Huh." First person said that this is a thing. The second person said it's just a matter of informing the players. And the third person said not accurate. And it was probably around the time the not accurate thing was said that Pearson went to the Cubs. Now, I didn't know that it was Pearson. I was told Valdez is being traded for a reliever. And then much later in that same day was when it was like, yeah, it was supposed to be Valdez for Pearson. Which sucks because I mean, like that would have been a nice trade. I mean, like
given the market, that would have been an absolute steal. And I like Valdez, but obviously it doesn't seem like he has any sort of future here. As we watch, Xander hit a 700-foot home run.
Yep.
I feel like even if they did acquire him, though, all you would have seen was look at his ERA. He was a 5 ERA the last 2 years.
Sure.
Look at that. I think you get him with Bailey, you know. Mason Miller is probably being aggressive, but with his kind of stuff, 100-mile-per-hour fastball, like you could create a weapon in the bullpen.
I think the Mason Miller comparison's a little rich, but when he first came up,
that was the
it
starter
like
hype.
I was terrified of the Blue Jays, but while the Jansen trade is funny, like it's a funny trade to trade 3 prospects for a backup catcher, I don't think it's unimportant to establish a relationship with another team. Like any completed trade, we had Passan on. He told us how hard it is for these guys to agree on anything. Mm-hmm. Once you build any type of rapport with the team, and it's a team that has some pieces, it looks like they're probably going to keep selling
in your division.
Just if not at the deadline, even this offseason, you got to assume they're going to keep trying to rebuild this thing in Toronto. I don't think that's a non-move. Like as much as Jansen really doesn't matter, having that relationship with another GM where you can potentially make another larger deal, I think that's important.
You just want Vladdy.
I mean, I like Berrios too.
Like Gosman?
No.
How can you say Nate Pearson get him in the factory, but Berrios no? A guy who already has a nasty slurve in his arsenal.
Yeah, so I think with Nate Pearson, right, we're talking reliever who's just unfortunately hasn't been able to harden stuff. I think you look at Jose Berrios, like it's a 521 FIP this year. It's a 6.7 K per 9. It's down 2 this year. He's still giving up homers. Like I liked what we saw last year. It was a 365 guy, 399 FIP. But what's the contract? It's still a couple more years.
The Astros today, right?
I just think
Rangers.
Yeah, I just think this season. So he's still making 18 million in 25, 18 million in 26, 24 million in 27, 24 million in 2028. And Taillon's making 18 million within himself. I don't want a guy. If you're telling me like the strikeouts are down that much and the FIP's up to 5. That ERA, it's going to catch up just like Carlos Rodon's ERA caught up, just like Marcus Stroman. That's not the guy. I think Chris Bassett, please. Give me Chris Bassett every fucking day of the week. He is everything this rotation needs.
How old's Bassett?
34.
Older than I thought.
I'm done with these mid-30s pitchers. Like I'm not disregarding what you're saying, but if we believe in Bailey, all those numbers should be irrelevant.
I just wonder at this point, right? If you're going to go deal for someone and you're going to give that kind of capital for that pitcher, I would like someone I can expect to produce.
Like we don't like right now. Yeah, it would cost a lot. I'm more saying in the offseason, if they're going to keep selling and they're just like, hey, we don't want this contract anymore. I think right now, yeah, he'd cost more, and I don't want to add that mid-season. In the offseason, if they're just making him available for the contract, yeah, I think that's an easy move.
Yeah, is there something to unlock there? I bet there is. It's just like if you're telling me at the deadline right now, if you're going to dish out capital for someone, I need someone who's going to impact the team.
Gotta be Danny Jansen.
And that's where you start to have that conversation where it's like, if you don't make the moves and Danny Jansen is the one, I'm not going to bitch about the return right now or what you gave up.
It's not even really worth talking about it yet. Like in terms of saying that's the finality, like that was it. Like we got to wait. But
if you hold your purse and you're like, oh, we didn't make any other moves because we didn't want to give shit up, then I'm going to look at you weird for the Danny Jansen stuff. I'm like, all right, well, you should have used those assets elsewhere.
Well, I mean, I'll be mad if they keep looking at the market, and like Jared said, there's 2 full days. If they keep looking at the market and being like, everything's too expensive, but they also don't sell, that's exactly what got Heim killed here. Like you have to do one or the other.
It's Luis Arias, right?
The thing that I'm probably most worried about is that they actually have an appetite to buy, but the classic, like we just talked about, it takes 2 to tango. Where it's like,
we couldn't find someone.
But they genuinely wanted to, like that. That's
no, for sure.
I think the last couple of years it was like, did you really want to, or are you just kind of saying it? I'm getting the feeling that they do actually want to add the right guys, but just finding the right deal, actually having an agreement with the team that you maybe have some kind of history with that you made a deal with before. There's no guarantee that's going to happen. That's like probably that's like the worst. That's honestly the worst place to be. You'd almost rather your team be like, we're still waiting than like try, but then not even get the guys you need. Because then to your point, then you're not selling and then you're just kind of in no man's land.
Right. This is where, baseball fucked themselves with adding playoff teams and having only one trade deadline. If there was still a second deadline, it would be so much clearer.
Yeah.
Like there wouldn't be this many teams in it. But it's such a seller's market right now. That's where it's like so entitled. Like I honestly think if you were to trade Pivetta and Tyler O'Neill, I'm just thinking 1 year guys, even Kenley. If you were to trade these people, I don't know that it changes the current team. I understand they're humans and it would change the mood in the clubhouse. Right now they're 2-7. I can't really give a fuck about the mood in the clubhouse. I don't think you're that much worse as a team if you were to do that.
You just can't go back. You've needed all these guys just to be a game out of the last playoff spot.
Sure, but as Tyler just said, we're getting a lot of people back as well.
No, and the Casas thing can't be, understated. That could be a very big deal. Who knows what?
But if you trade Kenley, it's like you're waving the white
flag.
You're
sending a message.
Yeah. But that's the thing about these initial additions, and understand that Paxton and Jansen has no one excited. Danny Jansen has no one like, oh wow, this is big. It at least initially had me think, oh, okay, well they're adding pieces. They're doing the concept of adding, where it's like you would only think there's more adding to come if you're going to do that, and that's why I don't really want to have any strong opinions yet until the deadline actually happens. But yeah, it is concerned that my biggest concern remains that they want to get the exact guy they need, but the other team's not willing to give them up.
Then to me, you need to be serious, like in what you're doing. If you're hesitating to that degree, if you're serious about buying, you should be able to find a deal that gets you where you need to go. Like if you're that resistant, then I think in a lot of ways you were never really serious about your position. And I don't think you can move Tyler O'Neill. Like the guy has a 900 OPS for this team right now. And against lefties, he really is arguably your best bat because Devers and Duran have not done what they needed to do against lefties this year. That's just been a problem for them. And Nick Pivetta, it's kind of scary. I don't think we were talking about this enough. Before they got Paxton, if someone got hurt, just, Cutter, Tanner, name the guy. Who was the next starter into the rotation?
What, from AAA?
It's Winkowski or Dick Fitz.
Sure.
Like, that's how thin you were. So I don't think you're in a place, if you were to move a Pivetta, then you need to go find a starter to take that spot.
Yeah, Paxton.
Paxton. Well, he's now in your rotation, right? Like, that's where you were. It would have been Paxton, Criswell, and if you had another injury, you're cooked.
Sure. Yeah, I don't disagree
with that. So to me, that's where it's like, well, hey, you can go find that controllable starter. And that's what Breslow keeps saying he wants. I need a controllable starter. You got to find one. Like there are options out there, and yes, you're going to pay a premium price. Well, cool. That premium price you're paying, it's going to help next year's team when you're actually trying to win a World Series as well.
I think that's my hang up with Bassett. I can't trade a premium price for Bassett.
Would you do Campbell?
No.
Interesting.
Definitely not.
I would do it for Campbell.
For 34-year-old? No.
It depends on how the money structure played out. I should put that in there.
Even with, like, I don't care if he was league minimum. Like, I'm not trading for for next year a 35-year-old for Christian Campbell when I know in the offseason I can get so much more than that.
I wouldn't be against. I think Chris Bassett's a true anchor. I think he's a true number 3 and a really solid one at that. A guy who finished top 10 in Cy Young voting last year. Yeah, this year it's a 3.78 ERA.
Again, that goes
I'd
back
be willing
to just
to move
sign
that.
him. Just sign him.
I agree in theory with that, but we know that's the way they haven't operated. In that kind of move, you're getting me a starter the next 2 years that I can pencil in, and say, hey, he's going to start a playoff game for me. I would think about moving Christian Campbell.
You could just sign Matt Damon. That first pitch was pretty fast. I got to say, it had some zip on it. Just want to mention.
Like, if we're trading someone in the top 5, even Montgomery, I think, in the top 6, it has to be someone south of 30. It can't be.
If you're taking on all the money, then yeah, I would have a hard time giving up Campbell in that spot.
I think they know that, by the way. I don't think.
Of course, I agree.
Yeah, completely. They're not going to be like. I don't think they're going to be, emptying any kind of big prospects for a guy in his mid-30s.
No,
this doesn't make any sense.
No, but I think that's what teams are asking for right now.
No, I know. But then what are they going to be asking for at 5 p.m. on Tuesday?
Yeah. And it's just like how many teams are willing to part with these guys?
I mean, the National League, I think every team outside of 2 is like in the hunt.
That's why the Rays are like cooking. They're like, you fucking fools. Like, we're going to just go nuts here. We're going to sell everything and we're going to dominate this market.
Credit to them for doing it now.
They're not hesitating.
You're a week out, so obviously you can get more now, and they're just selling everybody.
Smart.
Yeah, there's only 2 teams in the NL that aren't within like 6 games of the 3rd spot. Not to say the Nats are buying, but there's a lot of teams in the National League that think they have a chance.
Yep. Seller's market, like Coley said. You're selling. You're doing pretty well for yourself. There's 14 teams looking to buy. There's 3 teams that are selling.
But that's where it's like we've been talking about the Mets as like, ooh, who can we get from the Mets? And I almost think like
aren't the Mets in a playoff spot?
Yeah, they're buying
that's
right
what
now.
We've been saying that for a month. I'm saying not recently. So it's like they're holding a playoff spot. All they need is starting pitching. Like every Mets fan in the world is like, please get me a starting pitcher. If we can get, I don't know, Mauricio's been injured all year. So I assume if you could get someone like him plus something else for Pivetta, now you have guys you have no emotional attachment to that you can then move this offseason in a bigger package. You know what I mean? That's where I think the hang-up is for the fan base. That's where I think Craig's being super cautious. Like, hey, these guys have been like built up as like the faces of the franchise. I can't just trade them for anybody. If you go get other premium prospects that no one here has ever seen or gives that much of a fuck about, now you can just turn around and move them. And I know that's easier said than done. I understand that, but you also don't have to do it immediately.
Yeah, I'd be curious. I don't know what Pivetta, the way he's pitching right now, it's like a 4 ERA guy. Like he's probably closer to James Paxton than he is like, say Chris Bassett or something like that, right? Like you're talking like a 4-ish guy, like a guy that, things go really poor. He probably ends up in your bullpen. Like he's not starting a playoff game for anybody. Or if he is, you're not a very good team.
Maybe. I wouldn't hate Pivetta in the playoffs.
I think in the bullpen, throw him out there. We've seen what he's done.
Sure.
But I don't think anyone wants Nick Pivetta starting a playoff game.
I mean, he's at least done it from an innings perspective to make it to the finish line. We get a lot of guys that are huffing and puffing here in July.
Would you guys
2 months to go?
Would you guys feel confident in Pivetta starting a playoff game?
I mean,
I would not.
I wouldn't feel
like
extremely unconfident.
It really depends
I
on
wouldn't be
who
into it.
it was against.
There are worse options,
yeah.
I wouldn't be shitting myself.
like he was downstairs.
Right, yeah,
Yeah,
that's only here.
It wouldn't be an automatic loss situation.
No. And I think it's one of those type of games you would know immediately.
Yeah.
Like top of the first, it's like, oh yeah, we lost this one.
That's every Nick Pivetta start, is it not?
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. At least it would be over quickly.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be non-confident.
Did you guys see this Passan novel today?
No, what do you say?
He didn't. This was, I swear he has some of these that are in the drafts and it's just like ready to roll on them. Just because the Cubs are considering moving players from this current roster doesn't mean they're selling. Just as because they acquired Isaac Paredes doesn't mean they're buying. Modern baseball is a game about opportunity, the furthest thing from a binary. It is a fundamental tenet to understand how teams operate and what motivates them. There can be buyers and sellers, yes, but ultimately teams view themselves as value gatherers, and the only question is whether they're gathering that value for today or down the road. Value gatherers. So how much value are the Red Sox trying to gather?
I mean, they've gathered some value here.
Nate Pearson would have been that, right? Like,
Yep.
multiple years we're hoping this guy's going to, be an important figure in our bullpen.
Right. That's the other part. They've traded for two guys who are free agents.
Yeah. That to me is like, all right, you're getting these rentals that like, very on the margin buying there, very on the margin. I want a cost controlled piece. I would like someone, and hey, maybe it's not that starter. Maybe it's a reliever, even though the way the reliever market looks is terrifying, but there should be something like that if you're going to send out real capital. Then you can justify it. Then you don't feel horrendous. It's like, oh, all right, well, this guy's going to be part of that window when they're trying to win for real.
What do we think the percentage chances that they get 2 relievers?
They already got one. Are we counting him or no?
Johan Ramirez. Just saw
Is
him.
that another DFA?
Yeah, claimed.
Yeah.
It's gone through 3 of the pitching labs: the Mets, the Orioles, and the Dodgers.
Okay, I'm not counting that. What are the?
Yeah, I was just making sure.
No, that's a fair question.
just
But
making sure.
like, what would we put it at? We're recording what? This is 12:12 a.m. on Monday.
Relievers specifically.
Reliever specifically from now until Dose.
No.
Would you count like a quadruple A?
The percentage
like,
is no.
No.
Steve, would you count like a quadruple A arm that comes over in a deal that like gets called up in like, September when they need another
I think
arm?
we can count that.
Okay.
That they actually think could
Do we
give
even have those
real
Dodgers
innings
guys anymore?
Yeah. Well, no. Nick Robertson went over in the Tyler
That's
O'Neill
right,
deal.
yeah, he went to
and then
the
Justin
St. Louis.
Hingeman, he is still here.
Awesome.
I'm sure if they had it their way, they would acquire these guys, but it's going to come down
Sure,
to what they have to give up. They're like, guy, it would be great in these conversations. They're like, we've been through a lot. All right. Like, look at the last couple of years. You guys are probably not making the playoffs. Can you please just let us
Give
pass
us some guys.
Dude, we're just trying to pass the Royals. We're a game out. Like, just give us a couple good dudes, man.
Well, I think that's where the fan base, and myself included, is like, yeah, let's make a big move. We haven't been in the playoffs for so long. We just don't want to be in last place. Last place is already out of the equation. I just don't know that it's like, imagine you trade one of the big 5, even Miguel Blaze, who people had a heart attack the other day after, was that the Jansen trade?
Yeah.
When he got immediately
People were
pulled from the
losing
game.
it.
That's where it's like, yeah, do we really want to trade one of those pieces? Whether or not they ever make a huge impact at this level. Is that the guy you want to trade to make a half-assed run right
Doesn't
now?
it just not feel like they're going to do that, though? Like, it feels like the necessary moves they need to make will not require that. I don't know. That
Not based
seems
off what
drastic. No, I know.
Estevez
I'm just saying, like, I just wonder come deadline time.
I think everything that Craig Breslow has done so far has told us that he's not just going to be like, yeah, so we traded 4 prospects for another rental to just kind of go for it. It's like, well,
Yeah.
no.
They're not going to do a just go for it thing. I feel pretty confident about that.
I mean, he traded 2 top 22 guys for Jansen.
28. Cutter was 28, right?
Coffee was 28.
Yeah.
Try to tell you guys.
No.
Yeah, don't talk about anyone.
Yeah, no more prospects. Don't mention anybody.
I will say, like the Miguel Blaze stuff too, like if there was a time to move him, it's probably not right now.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I think the stock, not that it's been an awful year. He got the promotion, but it has not been great since he went up to Greenville.
No.
He's still very raw, and that was expected. Miguel Blaze.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm
He's
not
still
hung-
20 though, right?
Yeah, he's extremely young. I'm not writing him off by any means, but
First year
definitely
back
not
from
selling
major
high.
surgery. Like I'm still in on Miguel Blaze.
People would, who don't believe in Christian Campbell, and there's a fair amount of scouts that don't think his swing is going to play in the big league level.
He's got a crazy.
It's Hunter
BABIP
Pence
right now.
That's what it looks like. But if you were, quote unquote, selling high, I guess he'd be the guy to do it.
1000%.
Why? Because he like keeps all his weight back.
It's that
The Hunter Pence comp.
they feel like he's like, they don't believe that the plate approach is real.
Oh, that's real.
They think he's just kind of like waiting to the last second and like getting a hold of these balls. It's not really his eye. This is how they describe it.
So they're saying he's a lucky 400 hitter with an OPS over 1,000.
Essentially, they don't think his pitch recognition is as elite as it seemingly looks. But his walk rate keeps going up from where it was in the beginning of the year. So like,
And even in college, the thing he did well was just drill pitches in the zone.
Exactly.
Like, he didn't have the power yet, and the Red Sox have been like, hey, just swing like this. And he was like, got it So he's like, I believe in him, but Tyler's right. If you're going to trade someone on the high end of things right now, he would be the guy.
No, well,
But also the same person who was saying that Roman Anthony was going to break out, right? Like Christian Campbell has followed that, and look at how we look at Roman Anthony and how he's viewed in the game today. So like, I'm not here to tell you Christian Campbell isn't that guy. Also, dude's showing a lot of fucking versatility in the minors. He's playing center field, second, short, third. Like they got him skipping around everywhere right now.
We're already down on the farm.
yeah,
Well, it's the trade deadline. You want to talk about these last 2 fucking games?
no.
We can skip them. We can skip them.
I do want to talk about the Willie Abreu catch though. That wasn't a catch.
Oh, we got it.
That was beautiful.
So before we get to that, the Cedon Rafaela hidden ball trick that wasn't the hidden ball trick. Like
Broadcast still hasn't
if we
figured it
were
out.
gonna lose that game, I'm just glad it wasn't by 1 run because we would have been talking about that play for the next.
What do you mean though? They wouldn't have gone to extras.
Yeah, that's how I
They
look
wouldn't have
at
got
it.
the extras if Tyler O'Neill just caught
you're
a pop fly.
Fair
I
take.
know.
Yeah, you're right.
It's way, or if they just called
Also,
strike 3.
I say that they wouldn't go to extras, but then I hate being that guy because that was in the 3rd inning. So it's like game situation is just completely different the rest of the way. But I just don't know. Like my dad was flipping on the third base coach, and it's like, yeah, he
What
deserves.
did Dan say about it?
Oh, Dan wasn't there, but well, he was writing for the Mexican Times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the third base coach does deserve some blame there. Hudson, right?
Yep.
I forget his name.
No,
Yeah,
Hudson.
until he got mic'd up, I forgot what his name was. But why isn't he stepping on the? Why isn't he on the base? I don't understand why he's not on the base. I get people saying, oh, like you might have thought time was called. I also don't fully get that because the ball was still being thrown in. Like that's typically not when time is called yet. But Coley made a good point. Even trying to get a guy out like that is just that's not baseball.
It's Mickey Mouse.
That's just stupid. It's like, oh, Torres, like, let's get him. It's like, I'd almost rather you do the hidden ball trick because at least there's more creativity to that. And dude, they said hidden ball trick like 30 times. I'm like, guys, this is not a hidden ball trick.
No.
But it probably, I mean, a lot of that came down to the fact that they're interviewing Matt Damon and Casey Affleck, and they're a little bit distracted during that inning.
Rafael loves Affleck.
Yeah, of course.
Ben though.
Yeah.
You can't love Casey.
Well, he was upset. Well, he was looking up and he was like, "Is that Casey?"
Yeah,
so he was trying, and then he's off the base.
He
gets
got
that.
excited because he thought Ben was there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's the only reason he got out.
Yeah, tough play. Anyways, that Willie Abreu catch that wasn't a catch. I mean, like if I could have, I don't know, like if you could like trade a catch from history to make that a catch, I would do it.
I would trade the Mookie Betts Rich Hill catch for that.
Yeah,
Oh,
me too.
easily. That was 2015, right?
Yeah, take it.
None of those games.
Eric Hinsky snapping his neck in right field.
Yeah, how about that one too?
Yeah, take that one. I remember that one.
Yeah, I would take the Coco. It was when he was in right field and he smashed his face off the fucking warning track.
Warning track.
The Coco Crisp Mike Timlin catch.
Yeah.
You can have that one.
Okay, wow.
The JBJ one, 2018, we're going
Judge?
right into the monster.
Oh,
He
I
had
thought you
that
meant-
full extension. That was right into the monster. It was one of his best ones.
The better one was when he like dove in the triangle to
Right.
Rob Judge.
Or
That
even
was the
the-
home run going in the bullpen. You can have it.
Cam
I couldn't
Newton.
trade that.
No.
You wouldn't trade that one?
I'm not
No.
trading anything from 18.
What about JBJ Ryan Brazier in Baltimore?
Yeah, give him
Yeah,
that.
you can have that one.
We'll trade that.
Yeah.
I'm not trading anything from
Well,
New
this
York
was-
Metropolitan Jackie Riley Jr.
I don't want to underrate the fact that Matt Damon is in the booth and he is locked in on the game. He very clearly, the first thing he said was like, the view up here is crazy. And he was so clearly more focused on the game than whatever the hell they were asking him about the movie. They're like, yeah, whatever. It's a movie about Boston. It's like, it kind of sucks.
He's
Like,
like, watch it.
It kind of sucks. People are gonna go see it. We're gonna make a bunch of money. Who
if you
cares?
want to go, if you don't want to go, I don't give a shit. Anyway,
Yeah.
did he catch that ball?
Yeah.
So like that would have been a part of the highlight. And how long do you need to, like, it's not a
20
catch,
minutes.
but how long do you need to hold on to the ball? Because like the ball's in the glove and then he gets a concussion and like that's why the ball pops out. People were saying that if the dudes or girls, whatever, that were that had those seats in the front row, if they were there, it's probably a catch. And I do agree. I think that's the right padding that you kind of needed. But credit to Willie, dude. He just gave up his whole life to try to catch a ball that he didn't even catch.
It was
Either-
a catch for me.
Yeah, either that or if he landed on those people's knees, he was gonna like snap his spine.
There was like a 3-year-old boy that was
Yeah, you
sitting
could
right there.
have
You almost
killed a
died.
boy.
Yeah.
You could have killed a boy.
I respect it so much. He reached out for that wall, couldn't feel it at all, never looked to see if the wall was there, and he was like, I'm just gonna jump. And like I just respect, like I hate we're gonna be talking about him in trade talks from now until Roman Anthony gets up here and Christian Campbell and all these guys. Like he's the most likely guy to get moved from the major league team. And it sucks because he's just so easy to like and root for.
He plays the game hard.
So hard. And I've heard more people compare him to Trotz since you did.
Listen, we set trends here.
That's a fact.
I mean, you need that. Boston fans love that shit. It's like, yeah, he may not be the most athletic guy in the world. Probably doesn't look very flattering when he showers, but he play. What?
I think he does.
Why did we have to just get him like that?
What? I'm just saying.
Brutal.
Hold on.
We're like, we
hold
love
on.
this guy.
Yeah,
But he's
yeah, you
naked.
call him a fat
Hold
fuck,
on.
Jared. Continue.
Hold on. Who do you think looks more athletic in the shower, Mookie Betts or Willie Abreu?
Willie Abreu.
No.
Mookie's small. I don't
You're not
know.
wrong.
I don't want to see his body.
The timing of it was wild.
I'm just saying. Hold on.
No,
hold
no,
on.
hands
hold
up,
on.
hands
Hold
up.
on. Hold on. I'm just saying that, like, ESPN The Body magazine is asking for Mookie Betts before they ask for Willie.
They've got tubsters and that all the time.
Are you kind of saying that's a little
Prince
more
Fielder.
impressive that a
Yes.
bigger boy even almost made that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm
Yeah,
just
that's fine.
saying, like, he doesn't look like he could just play basketball or football or
Yeah.
what's the other sport? Hockey.
Hockey's the only other sport. Those are the three.
Yeah.
That's that other sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basketball, football, hockey. Those are the only three sports.
They
Yeah.
should rename hockey to, what's that thing? What's that thing?
The what's
The
that thing
Europeans
league?
do?
Yeah. Like, he's out there just like doing it with a dad bod. Like, that's what I love to see.
I think Coley had alluded to this before we started recording, but like, there's no chance he didn't have a concussion or didn't have like a broken neck or something. Like, they were looking at him out there, and he had the squinty eyes thing going of like, what happened? Yeah,
Did I
no
catch
man.
that shit?
He was like, I remember Chad Johnson after he got like lit up by like Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis, yeah.
Yeah, in the locker room, was just like, "What's up, guys? Like, how we going? What's good? Hey, Drew, what's that?" Like, that's what Abreu was doing. He was doing like the whisper talk
He
thing where
probably
he's
got
like,
the wind knocked out of him, too.
wind knocked out of him and a broken head, and like he stayed in the game. That to me is my favorite thing ever. Like, yes, is he risking like more injuries? Probably, but the fact he even stayed in that game is absurd. This is a guy that hurt himself falling in the dugout, which is the most like random accident ever. And now he's back in there and has like a real thing happen. He's like, no, I'm staying in. I'm staying in this game.
I will say credit to Willier as well for actually, jumping in the stands at the right time. Whatever Tyler O'Neill did on the first game of the series, dude, first off, you should never be diving into the stands, not with your body. Second, the ball was 3 rows back. Like, it was almost so embarrassing. Everyone was turned around looking at the ball when he flipped over the fence.
Well, the ball had like already landed, and he's like, all right, let me dive in here.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
It was like one of the weirder series I can remember a player having. Like, he was so
Bizarre.
good with the bat and just so dreadful with the glove.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he
just
did make
the
that diving
worst.
catch in the 9th, right?
Yeah, where he
Yeah,
threw
but
home.
he took a weird route to that, or I don't know. I thought he could have stayed on his feet, maybe, probably not. But yeah, it is harder to have a better series at the plate and a worse series in the field than Tyler O'Neill just had.
Is he like White Hanley?
Maybe he just played. Is this the time to talk about Tyler O'Neill? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what an asshole.
Just I don't know what he's doing in the field. Like not like out like placing him out there. When he's out there, I don't know what he's doing.
I feel like whenever he doesn't make a play, he's always disappointed. Like, man, I should have made that. And it's like, well, no, I
at
feel
this
like you
point,
don't.
yeah,
usually
I'm
make
like, no, you like you don't make any of these plays. So I mean, similar to Adam Duvall being here, it's like, did he win a Gold Glove? Like, is this the guy that? And Tyler O'Neill's won multiple, right?
Yeah.
One was 2020, right?
Okay, yeah, that sounds about
even
right.
still, if it's multiple, like
He was
No,
nails,
for
and he was
sure.
playing left field during those days. Obviously, playing left field as well. I don't know. I think it's a combination. I think he's lost some athleticism. Like, all the defensive metrics say he's been garbage this year. I think it's that, and I think he's trying to manage not getting injured with that knee. Yeah, it's -3 outs above average this year. I think he's trying to manage that knee, and it's the reason why you don't see him running at full speed at certain points either. Like, he knows he's so close to an injury at all times, and this team can't afford it. It takes away from the guy who did win a Gold Glove in 2020 and 2021.
Well,
I just don't think he's that guy anymore.
One of the top things I noticed with him is when that camera flips to the behind home plate camera, his initial instincts off the bat are like, I hope the other guy has it. Like, and not even saying as a joke. Like, I think his first
He was looking for Duran.
his first step, he's always looking at the other guy. Like, is this your ball? Like, can this please be your ball? Because I don't really want it to be mine. And obviously in that, the Kenley play there, like that's his ball the whole way, but he's kind of looking at Duran, kind of going after it. I'd almost rather you just not even run at it at all, because now Duran's thinking like, wait, Like, this is definitely your ball, but you're not giving it. It's your ball energy right now, and now it puts him in a weird spot too. So the whole series, it just, I don't know, man. He's got a weird first step, and then he misses that ball down the line where he wasn't really even that close to the sidewall. Like, that was a really catchable ball.
No, it wasn't.
And you're right, Jared. He gets pissed at himself every time, and it's like, it sucks because then I don't even like talking negative about Tyler O'Neill because he hits like 800-foot homers. So it just makes you feel weird as a fan, where he obviously has value to the team, but we're not asking him to be a Gold Glove fielder, just be a normal fielder.
He would be an ideal DH. Like, he is the DH type. But even if you look this year, his 60th percentile sprint speed, you go back to a year ago, it was 80. You go back another year before that, it was 97. Like, the athleticism is just seemingly going away, and he's about to be 30 as well. I think it's just the impact of the injuries.
Ton of injuries.
That's it. He's just not the same guy he was physically.
He's in his 20s?
Yeah, he won't be 30 till next
he looks
year.
40,
I looked that up last night. That blew my mind.
And he's about to hit free agency too, which no one's about to give him a long-term deal.
No, they're going to want him to be a DH.
Yeah.
You could picture him going to the Dodgers for a year, though, and hitting like 46 home runs, and they keep him healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Thing that bugged me, though, with that play, that changes the whole series. If he just catches that ball, the Red Sox win the series. Kenley boys super up.
I mean, we're still up.
We're still up. We're not down.
No.
We're still up, but it's just annoying that ball, I looked it up on Savant, a 0.90 expected batting average.
What was the catch probability?
Yeah, I was about to
I
say.
didn't see it.
I saw 84%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
But like
But
Fox-
I also saw it was one of those bots that just tweets it out. I saw it was 84% for Duran, which means they just tracked him as the closest guy to it when it landed, and which is even a worse look for Tyler O'Neill.
Because then for Tyler O'Neill, it's probably like 93.
Yeah, definitely higher.
Well, there was like Fox showed a brief angle, a slow-mo of like a close-up of where the ball landed. Too many people on Sox Twitter were like, that ball was like midway up the monster.
Insane.
It's like, guys, this ball, now don't get me wrong, it would not be an easy catch.
No.
But he's got to be out there by then.
Just drop 7% of the time.
If you get to the wall and then make the catch. Yes, he would have had to jump, but he just kind of olayed it because he gets scared of the wall. Like that, you should be able to catch that ball and the Red Sox win the series. It's as simple as that. They somehow lost by 3.
I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned. First of all, because it was Trent Grisham that hit it, and like, I mean, he stinks.
I love how he's like
Second
celebrating
time
on
he got
second,
you, too.
like I'm that guy. It's like, dude, that's a fly out to left that fell in. Like, please.
Well, I mean, it was a 2-run shot in Yankee Stadium, so I get why.
It's like, how is that not out of here?
I was following it because on the app it's faster, and in those type of situations, I want to know faster. I hate living with the anxiety, so I'm looking at it, and on the app it shows your hot and cold zone as a hitter. And Kenley dotted the strike 3 the pitch before, which feels like it's happened every game, not just with Kenley, just with somebody, even Winkowski out in Colorado. Like, somebody has done this. You don't get the call to strike 3, and then the next pitch was in the he only, of the 9 zones, he only has one that's even a little red, and that's where that pitch was. And of course, now we're going to extras.
And it's only at Fenway. You're at any other fucking ballpark, it's an easy out.
Yeah.
Not great. Then Chase Anderson comes in. It's like, let's go to bed.
I couldn't fucking believe my eyes.
I would have put Kenley out there again. I know he pitched the night before. He just also had a week off.
Yeah. Or, I mean, like we talked Cooper Criswell, I would have been fine with Greg Weissert. Like, I wouldn't have been happy. I wouldn't have been comfortable. But the second you see Chase Anderson, you're like, this fucking game's over. Like, there is a 0% chance he's getting out of this inning without multiple runs being scored. Like, I get it. Like, every big league team has that role, and it's an important role. Like, you have to have guys who can eat innings when you're down by 7, but not when it's extra innings against the Yankees when you've been back and forth. How many times did they tie each other? 5 times, 6 times?
Yeah.
It felt like every inning.
Yeah. Like, in a game like that, maybe in the 15th, I can do Chase Anderson.
Sure.
In the 10th, no.
Yeah. The Yankees scored in the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th inning in that game Saturday.
Like, obviously, I've become the face of the Kenley boys. So anytime
You are the
anything
Kenley.
You're the
happens-
commissioner of the Kenley.
Anytime anything happens, people are just like, this is your fault. And it's just like, no, it's clearly Tyler O'Neill's fault.
Yeah.
Let's get together.
Yeah. 98% catch probability.
Just brutal, man.
Brutal.
And now it's like, if you had won that game, you're 3.5 back in Baltimore, let alone second place. Like that's where you've been so bad, even with the 1-5 against Colorado and LA. If you win that game, you're 3.5 back of first place. Like we're not even having wild card conversations right now. You still drop tonight, so it's 4.5. What is it now? 6?
6.5.
6.5.
Division,
like that's such a difference. Like the fact that we could have even been talking about the division with how poorly they've played if they had just gone 2 out of 3 in this
5-4.
series.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I mean, realistically, it was always going to be the wild card, but you're right. If they even just were average post break, the division is what this pod, the division and the deadline is what this pod would have been.
Baltimore's been bad. The Yankees have been bad.
Yeah, Baltimore's been sneaky bad.
The Royals have been bad. Like
and all those teams are adding. They're going to be adding in a major
The AL
way.
East has sucked the last couple weeks.
I know they got Jazz Chisholm, but I'm kind of like, I'm waiting for the Yankees to make that big time move just because.
Well, did you see the quotes after the game tonight?
What?
They asked Glaber about playing third, and he said, I'm a second baseman, which I love after the ninth when he couldn't field a routine grounder. Like, I bet he's gone. I would imagine they're trying to move him right now. I have no idea what his value is. Obviously, he's about to be a free agent. But
Minimal.
if someone like Seattle, who was just like begging for anyone to have any sort of offensive competence, like, would they trade a reliever for him? Probably.
But the Yankees' thought process has to be, we are only guaranteed 1 year of Juan Soto. We have to do something big this year.
Right.
Like there is absolutely no guarantee. Like he's been like, yeah, I want to play with the Dodgers. I want to play with Shohei Ohtani. He clearly loves Fenway. He was hanging out in the Monster. He's like, this would be a place I could see myself playing the rest of my career.
John Henry was like, sure, pal.
Yeah,
Sure, of course.
dude.
Get the fuck
I mean,
out of
we're
here.
talking like 13 years, right?
Yeah.
Of the contract. So, like, obviously, they would do everything in this 2-month gap to secure a guy for the next 12, 13.
Red Sox are going to give him the Napoli Dempster offer. They're going to be like, how's 3 for 39? Will you do 3 for
And
39?
he just says deal.
Hey,
Like,
you
why
grew up
not?
a Red Sox fan,
Deferred.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's only making $5 million in the next 3 years.
That for like 2 years, they only offered free agents 3 for 39.
Victorino got that too. Right?
Victorino,
Victorino,
Dempster, Napoli.
They
Was
took
it?
it away from
I was
Napoli.
gonna say Napoli's was revised because they're like,
like
we'll
hip,
see.
his hip or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's what kind of scares me about the Yankees is they've got to be thinking like we are guaranteed 1 year of Soto and Judge in the same lineup. Like we can't go in. I mean, we've got Soto publicly saying, yeah, we got me and Judge. The rest of the lineup kind of sucks. So they've got to do something.
I think it's both sides of it, right? Like you want to capitalize in the next 2 months, but also prove to Soto that you're willing to build more around him,
Right.
Yeah.
which would be the next decade plus of your team.
Yeah.
Well, shout out Hal Steinbrenner, who, immediately, a month into the season said, we're not going to be able to sustain this payroll forever. That's just not reality. But it's not like they're going to add to the rotation. They just got to add to the bullpen, and they probably need another
The
bat.
rotation stinks, and they have so much.
They got to
money.
ride with it, though, with what
No,
they have
I know, but
invested.
it's just like that's what sucks even more about the series. Their rotation's trash. The Sox are almost. It's too bad they didn't face Cole.
Yeah, we wish we got Cole.
Please.
Yeah.
That guy sucks.
Cole today would have been great.
No, that's a series one.
Yep. 8th time in 8 games, the Sox have blown a lead in the 7th inning or later since the break.
Love it.
That's just.
Miserable.
It's almost hard to do, even if you suck.
Yeah, should have been 8-1. Then that brings us to tonight. I don't know. I don't have really a ton of thoughts on tonight.
Never
We
in
got
this
thoughts
game.
out during the stream.
Absolutely never in this game.
It's a fun 3-minute span. That was it.
I'm worried about Tanner.
Some beers can say they're fruit brewed for baseball, but only Blue Moon is brewed by baseball. Beer and baseball, they just go together, and no beer goes better than the one that was literally born in a ballpark. Blue Moon was created at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. It's a natural choice for opening day and all season long. We had the Blue Moons flowing on Friday night at Fenway Park, the only game that the Red Sox won this series. Jake was drinking the Blue Moons. Eamon was drinking the Blue Moons. Stevie was double fisting the Blue Moons.
I think I had 10, respectfully.
Yep. Responsibly.
Yeah, well, and respectfully.
And yeah, you respected the shit out of those
respected
beers.
those so much.
Oh my God. He was in the left hand, he was drinking the Blue Moon. The right hand was giving the salute. It was unbelievable. So patriotic.
Yep.
From its refreshing flavor with Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness and hints of coriander. Blue Moon Belgian style wheat ale is a one-of-a-kind beer that's made brighter. It's carefully crafted and full flavored. With refreshing notes and a smooth, creamy finish, Blue Moon was brewed by baseball to give you a dose of nostalgia and get you excited for the new season. Why strike out with the same old beer when you can get something that is one of a kind? Its bold flavor, bright explosion of color, and iconic orange slice ritual guarantees a one-of-a-kind beer experience that is perfect for spring weather. Best served with its signature orange garnish to showcase its beautiful hazy color. A beer this good only comes around once in a blue moon, but you can enjoy it all season long. Bring the ballpark to you with Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale. It's one of a kind every time. Get Blue Moon delivered by visiting get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared to see your delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared. Blue Moon, made brighter, celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. I agree to an extent, a tiny bit with Tyler about the Houck stuff. More so the having more walks than strikeouts. That's what stands out to me. I look for that in any box score. I look at the walks. I look at the strikeouts. Of course, you're going to look at the earned runs. You're going to look at the innings pitched. You're going to look at the total hits given up. But my eyes almost always go to the walks. Like you can have, it's almost like it just like taints it one way or another. It's like, all right, 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs. You're like, that's a good outing. And then you look and it's like 4 walks and you're just like, 3 strikeouts. Bleh. Just kind of tells more of the story for you. But Tanner,
what do you do?
Bleh.
Nice.
But yeah, that's not what you want from Tanner Houck tonight.
Second lowest strike percentage in any start for him this season. The other one was also against the Yankees earlier this month. And I think that's what we said about
like
Tanner
a bottom top 3 start for him.
Yeah. Or no. He managed the one. I guess it's not that different than what he did in Colorado, right? Like you look at those first couple months of the season. I think it's more like he got by tonight, but he's not going to get by walking 4 guys and striking out 2. Like that's not how you're going to make it. Like definitely the first Yankee start was way worse. The Padres start was worse than tonight. So yeah, maybe 5 2/3, 4 earned runs against the Angels. It's in there. It's top 4 or 5.
I mean, stats posted. It's swing and misses tonight. Rodon had 24. Tanner Houck had 6.
The stuff's not stuffing.
Stuff's not stuffing.
No, it's bad. It's not good.
And that's a guy you need to lean on. And if he starts to run out of gas and he's more of like a number 3 or a number 4 down the stretch, that just makes life a lot harder. Because you have Cutter giving up homers. What? He's tied for the MLB lead in homers right now, and he's 4th in home run per 9.
I think Rodon took
Did he retake the lead today? Yeah.
With the back-to-back.
Yeah, that would make sense. So he's up to 24. I think Cutter's at 22.
So yeah, bad.
Red Sox lose 8-2.
Yeah, I don't have a whole ton to say about that game tonight. It was just not fun. It was 3 minutes of fun. It was Ref Snyder going deep. It was Wong going deep. It was the Raffy triple, and that was it. It was 3 consecutive batters of fun.
Just sucks too because the park looked like it was similar vibes to Friday.
Yeah,
where everyone's just ready to roll.
Saturday was too.
All 3 great atmospheres, and then you're just down 3-0, just like Saturday in the first inning. Can't have it.
It was kind of a banger quote by Cora. I thought. I believe it was after Friday night where he was like, "Hey, like this place was basically a museum." Early in the season, it was the Fenway experience. He's like, "Look at how people have bought into this team and how they play now." Like, I think
which is how it works. I mean, that's how it goes.
That's it. You got to convince people to be into it. Like the
crazy.
team has to prove itself, and that's what they've done this year.
And kids are off. It's summer. The Yankees are in town. Like this is just how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, they are obviously at this point very much worth watching.
Oh, of course.
Well, and because you can dream on the future. That's the part about this team. You see where it's going.
The future's not
and the
even really
present.
here yet.
And the present.
They're
kind of
entertaining
is,
now,
though.
but I think what's coming is like, to me, that's what I keep dreaming on more than anything.
You
Like,
dream
we're
on it
that
every night?
close to
Is
the
it every
vision.
night, Tyler, you're dreaming on it?
Almost every night.
Okay.
It's like, damn, you have this and you're going to add the big 3 in the next 12 months. Like that.
Big 4.
Campbell as well.
Big 5.
Big 5. You
Big
could argue
5.
big 6 with Luis Perales. Get healthy. Like
Big
that's
5,
the stuff you get excited about.
I'm dreaming on it every night.
Campbell.
Mhm.
Nuttown. Look at Jeff Passan.
Look,
on
he's
TV.
outside of his house.
I mean,
Maybe.
is he?
He was chirping you, by the way. I
Me?
didn't. Yeah, we did a video at the players' party. I didn't post it because it was over the top.
What did he see?
He was like,
Bad words?
Steve, like, that fucker, Karavis. Look at where I am right now, and you're not here because you're sleeping. Like he
I
was.
wasn't sleeping. I I skipped that after party to go home and watch Monday Night Raw, and it was worth it.
Yeah, good call.
I was awake.
Passing wasn't grinding tape from what I'm hearing.
No, just ripping Jerry.
Do you have any confidence we could get like a Pete Fairbanks?
I'm gonna say no because I don't think that. I think Craig, and maybe this is actually the right way to look at it. I feel like for the relievers that the team is going to add this deadline, this offseason, I feel like Craig is going to target guys that he thinks that he and Bailey can fix.
Well, I don't. I think that will be the majority of them. I think you need to get some staples too.
Well, they're going
Guys
to
who
just be like, whoa, look at we got Liam Hendricks.
Yeah. And do you look at it? It's like, well, Slayton's obviously going to be here. Whitlock, if they still want to try the starter thing, we'll see where they're at.
Bro.
They should all be fired immediately.
I agree.
Don't talk to me.
I'm not into that. But
Immediately fired.
if
Don't
it's
talk to me
Slayton,
about
Whitlock, Hendricks is your, how you're looking at it, you probably want another arm you really
What's the
trust in
up?
there.
Is he alive?
Whitlock?
Yeah.
He's just rehabbing. He's not going to be back.
He's
this
promoting
year.
cigars.
It's like
on his Instagram.
He
Giolito.
is promoting cigars.
I thought that
saw
was very funny. I was like, I haven't seen this guy in months, but he's like, you should buy these cigars.
Wait.
Oh, he just had his kid. Congratulations, Garrett
Yeah,
Whitlock.
congrats.
Congratulations to Garrett Whitlock. Is he like rehabbing what? Like, is he?
Internal brace procedure.
I know, but like, when is he going to play baseball?
He'll be ready apparently for next spring training, he said.
It's every year. He's just ready for spring training.
He believes he'll be able to have a full 2025.
It's him and Trevor Story.
Hey,
Ready for
dude,
spring
Why did
training.
I think he was coming back at some point this year? He's
That's what they
Definitely
said
not.
at the beginning. I think.
I always love that, but he's expecting to have a full 20. Yeah, aren't we all? I mean, it's like, yeah, every player wants to play the whole year, but then something comes up and then you don't.
I didn't see like officially done for the year. That's a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think
What-
if anything, he might miss a little time at the beginning of next year.
Yeah,
if
Well,
they
that's
take
not
it
ready
slow.
for spring training.
Well, that's what he said. He's like, I want to be ready, but he might be ready in the middle of April.
Yeah, let's stop listening to players. Casas was ready to play
Yeah.
June 15th.
These guys are always going to say, yeah, I'll be there. But then the doctor's like, no, you won't.
It's been so long that I forgot what even happened to Garrett Whitlock.
Same.
How
Elbow.
many games did he participate in this year? 4.
Yeah, 4 or
Four was the
5.
number I had in
Last
mind.
one was Baltimore, right?
Who could forget?
Love it.
I love Garrett Whitlock.
Good guy.
I love
It
relieving
sucks when
Garrett
good guys
Whitlock.
just can't pitch. You want to see good guys pitch.
I want to see the good guys pitch.
That elbow could have stayed healthy. He'd be doing good things in this rotation right now.
That's the point.
I agree. I'm not fighting you on it. I will say the Pete Fairbanks thing. Like we saw the Jason Adam return with Dylan Lesko
love
today.
Pete Fairbanks.
Yeah.
$3 million next year, I believe, and then it's a $7 million player option or option for the team, I believe. So it's like
Banks.
for Pete Fairbanks.
Big B.
So I think you see like these relievers that aren't demanding a ton of money. Those are where those crazy packages are going to come from. I have a hard time picturing the Red Sox paying that.
So what, the 7?
No,
The prospects.
the prospects.
Gotcha.
Dude,
If
the
he was
Sox-
making nothing, then
we talk
maybe.
about the Sox schedule. It's like all these teams they have coming up are
Good
they,
teams.
They can't pitch though. It's not like the Mariners. Yes. The
Mariners,
Mariners.
yeah.
All
That's
they
like
do
all
is
the
pitch.
Mariners can do is pitch. I was looking at August. Like
That
These-
series is here too, right? Against
it is
Seattle?
here. It is here.
Good. Rosarena,
He's going deep.
Clark's catch-up MVP.
Yeah, he's going deep. There's no way.
I just looked down the list. It's like, yeah, I think the Sox have the hardest like schedule because a lot of these teams aren't like awful, but they're like a good handful are on the cusp of being playoff teams. Diamondbacks, Rangers, Royals. It's like the Orioles.
Few
you
teams
can
are
beat the Orioles.
actually really good.
What's up?
Oh,
It's the Phillies.
Yeah.
We beat them.
Phillies, Orioles.
Yeah, and it's just that the Sox have a
Guardians.
lot of these like the good teams on the schedule, or a good handful of them. But they can win these games. I don't know. They can win the games. They just need more
They
pitching.
absolutely can. I mean, that's been the point
No, I know.
this whole 9 games.
It's been the worst part of it. Winnable, especially the finale in Denver.
I'm going to ask you guys another question. 6 p.m. Tuesday, deadline passes. What do you think your reaction is going to be? Content, happy, disappointed, underwhelmed, surprised, shocked? What do we think the adjective is going to be at 6 p.m. on Tuesday?
I'm leaning slightly disappointed.
Coley?
It's between one of two emotions. I'm either going to be enraged or confused, but in a positive way. I guess shocked. Shocked would be the word.
Like we traded for Jose Reyes?
That would be shocking, but not in a positive way.
No. I'd be super confused. Tyler?
No, I was waiting to be asked. I didn't want to just speak on my own.
Well, that's fair.
Yes.
Has this guy gotten
I think
yet?
it's going to be a very
Oh, really?
Immediately.
Yep.
Instantly.
Sorry, tell it.
Thank you. I think the overall reaction will be closer to meh than anything, but maybe a little on the positive side where you talk yourself in. I see a lot of people talking themselves into Danny Jansen on Twitter today, like to a ridiculous level where they're like, holy shit, nobody knew that Danny Jansen was a top 5 catcher in the fucking sport. Like I've seen some of that. Like you don't realize how much of an upgrade he is over Reese McGuire, but I do think they're going to go get some relief help. But at the end of the day, it's going to be like, damn, they didn't get that like big fish that gets people going. And that will be what the most, mainstream people kind of grab to. It's going to be about Casas, Hendricks, Martin, Slayton. Those guys are turning. And I know that pisses people off, but I think they're going to buy very marginally overall.
What do you think?
Jared?
I am very much prepared to be, I think, underwhelmed. I moved from like, they're not going to do anything big. They're not going to go make a blockbuster deal, but they're not going to do nothing. But it's not going to be like, what was that fucking idiot's name? Arias?
Luis Arias?
Yeah, they're not going to do like Luis Arias where it's like, yeah, we traded for someone. We didn't need him and he's not very good either, but we did something. Like, I don't think it's going to be that either.
Couple grand slams. Got to remember that.
Yep.
I feel like they've already done more than
Are those
last year.
back-to-back pitches over 2 different
I
games?
think so.
Yeah,
I think
they were
so.
back-to-back
Yeah.
pitches.
Yep.
I didn't hate that move.
I think they know they don't need to do a ton, but they better do something or else it's going to be the same reaction. I don't like when people just pair. They're already going to pair their reactions to the last couple of years. And I don't
Exactly.
I don't think that's fair, but
You've
yeah,
done
just-
more than last year already. That's just the truth. However you want to
and
frame
this
it.
isn't, I
guess.
just can't think this is it. This,
You have.
this can't be it. This can't be it. I mean, it technically can be, but I would hope this is not it. So you got to give them the next, 36 hours.
I just want to know at the end of the day, like after the deadline passes and if they don't do anything crazy, I want to know what they were kind of like working on. Is
Yeah,
that
true.
is that pathetic to be like the Red Sox were
We already know some of it, right?
they were working on getting Gosman. It just didn't work out.
They wanted to get everybody, but they
were-
just didn't.
Yeah, they were in deep talks to acquire Chris Bassett, but it just fell apart at the end there.
That would piss me off. I don't want to know any of that.
I want to know, like,
It wouldn't
where
piss
are
me
we at?
off, because then, like, we've seen Verdugo to the Yankees. Like, some of that stuff does take more than the time they have right now to get
Yeah,
done.
they tried to trade Verdugo to the Yankees for like 3 years.
Gleyber Torres.
Yeah.
Swap them out. I don't know. I don't want to hear about deals that didn't get done or
I
that they
do.
were close to. I want to hear.
I mean, we literally
something
did this with
actually
Nate
happened.
Pearson. Like, don't you want to know? Like, yeah, they,
No, because I'm sad. I want Nate
it's
Pearson
not-
on the Red Sox.
It's not that
Yeah, I
sad.
just want the deals to happen.
Yeah.
Like, let's just
Yeah, I want the deals to happen, but I want to know that they're because I mean, in the Heim era, he kept it tight-lipped, and everyone was just like, "This guy doesn't fucking do anything." But like, I'm sure there's plenty of things that they were working on that just didn't happen.
Ugh.
Like, I want to know.
Justin Turner for Edward Cabrera. If I have to fucking listen to those conversations again, I'll jump off a cliff.
And I mean, you look at what Edward Cabrera has done. It's not like
Died.
he missed out. Yeah, it's like that would have been sick, obviously, and we'd all like right now we'd be like, just wait till Cabrera comes back. Just wait.
Let
till he
Andrew
comes back.
Bailey work his magic with him.
and like maybe it would have become something, but even the sale trade, like that got blown so out of proportion.
You're
is
referring to
tough.
the Rangers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's always this expectation from fans of just that they're morons. That like the front office is always morons, and if they don't do exactly what you want them to do, like what was this all about? Just not factoring in all the layers that go into getting a deal done.
Yeah.
And getting the right person you need without giving up too much or what you deem to be too much. So I don't know. It's the deadlines are always complicated, but at the end of the day, like they obviously we know who they need. I think they know who they need. It just comes down if they can pull it off.
I'll also add, like, when you get into the rumors coming out, and like that happened today where the Red Sox were connected to Brent Rooker, right?
What the fuck? Where did you just say?
Connected?
I thought you said
He said like correct.
Did I?
Sorry, it's like,
Excuse
it's
me,
almost
connected.
1 a.m.
All right, Tyler.
Yeah, where they were connected to Brent Rooker, and you get, oh, fucking interest kings, oh, fucking this, fucking that. Like,
Well, it's Brent Rooker. The A's have already said, like, yeah, we
want a haul.
We have one good player, and we're not trying to trade that guy.
You want to trade Willie Abreu? Like, that's what it is.
They
A's have been hot.
They have more than one good player.
Yeah,
Mason
Butler.
Miller.
Mason Miller's a pitcher. I'm talking
Butler's-
position players.
I would like
Lawrence
some-
Butler, he's a beast. Yeah, he made an adjustment recently, and he's been like one of the best.
tearing the
hitters in
cover
baseball.
off the ball for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, beast.
And started in Fenway. It started.
Brian Bayo.
Yeah. I mean, everybody tore up the whole rotation that weekend or week. Yeah. And Miguel Andujar, who's probably, me and Tyler were talking about earlier. That's likely who we're going to trade for.
the move.
People laugh at it. That's
That
probably
is
who we're going to trade for.
the move. That is
I
it.
wouldn't hate that trade.
I wouldn't hate it either, but it's not buying.
It would,
I won't call that buying either.
if Miguel Andujar came to the Red Sox and had like a 920 OPS.
Oh, it could work.
That
but
is
it's
so
not buying.
good.
It's certainly not buying.
Whether they got like Justin Turner at this point, because Buster Olney came out today and said they're looking for a right-handed bat that can play a little first base.
Like, let's just acquire the 2023 Boston Red Sox.
Right. I'm all set.
Just
Like,
curious.
imagine trying to justify to the fan base. We got James Paxton. We got Justin Turner. You're telling us we didn't buy? We didn't go for it?
Danny Jansen, stop disrespecting him.
You literally just brought back last year's team that finished in last place.
254, 6 home runs, 31 RBI. Pass.
He's handled lefties well, though.
Pass.
I'm not. Listen,
Hard
he'd
pass.
be a
Coley said it's a
platoon player
pass.
at the utmost level.
Hard pass.
Coley said it's a
Yeah.
pass.
I love
Yes.
me some Justin Turner.
Hard pass.
It's a pass from Coley.
Yep.
I'd rather bring back the 21 Red Sox because they're fucking dominating the NL East right now.
Yeah, I'd bring back Kevin Pilecki.
JD.
I'd bring back JD. I'd bring back
Schwartz?
Matt Barnes.
I mean, yeah, it'd be awesome to bring back Kyle Schwarber. I don't know that that's possible.
Kyle Schwarber.
Schwartz, like he's been decent. He has like 8
You heard?
bombs today.
Xander
Aldi, yeah.
Valdi. If we put back together the 21 Sox, I mean,
We dominate the NL East.
oh,
Turner against lefties, 292,
We're done.
347, 446, 793.
we're done with it.
We're done
not
here.
even an 8?
We're done.
124 waiver and
We're
square plus.
done.
Not even an 8.
This guy still coaches the Steelers. Hasn't he been there for like 40 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I think
goes.
he's the longest
He's never
tenured coach.
won less than 7 games in a season.
He's been there for literally how long? Like almost 20 years?
06, 07.
Yeah.
Best post game presser in the sport.
Like
Might have
this,
been 05.
this dude has been there at least since I was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this would be his 20th season.
Yeah.
Damn. Good for Mike Tomlin, huh?
But yeah. Miguel Andujar and
Who thought
Lucas
Mike Tomlin was making this episode impressive?
didn't see it coming.
Yeah. I think
Put Mike Tomlin. Yo, Jeremy, can we put Mike Tomlin in the Ozark teaser, please?
Jake, book Mike Tomlin.
Book Mike-
I got some questions.
Yeah, so
He's
dude,
been
who
around
are
the
you?
block. Yeah.
Jeremy just replied with a check. All right, Mike Tomlin's making it.
I mean, if we had Mike Tomlin on Section 10
like right now, right at the deadline.
on the
What would
trade
you do,
deadline
Mike?
episode,
We don't talk about the deadline at all. It is, dude, Steelers, what are we thinking for this year?
but like we only talk to him about the Sox.
Yeah. Guy loves it.
I guarantee you, he's got Sox stories.
Yeah.
You never know who's sitting.
He's
on
got some local ties. I think his kid plays for BC.
Oh God, yeah. So then he knows.
He knows the Sox.
He knows the Sox.
Jason Bay played in Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin was in Pittsburgh at the time.
He was.
Jason Bay played for the Red Sox.
What
Yeah.
a connection. So
I believe-
they're obviously tight.
A lot of Rich Hill stories.
Yep, Rich Hill.
Yep.
Ben Charrington, close personal friend.
Yeah.
I think the year that the Steelers won the Super Bowl, Jason Bay was in the home run derby.
At 0.
I mean, he was there though.
Oh, was that one of those?
Really?
Like they had
They did
someone from a
six?
different
They
country.
did the international one. It was I think it was the first
Oh,
year
that
World
was a-
Baseball, or
that was a
second World
weird
Baseball
one.
Classic,
Was
maybe.
Jason Bay an All-Star in 06? Look that up, Steve.
Yeah, I got
I
it.
literally have a laptop right in front of me. Steve.
Look that up, Steve, as a throwback.
Yeah.
That's an
Jason
OG.
Bay in 2006. All-Star, yes.
Let's see what we got
Not
here.
fast enough.
Hey, easy. I haven't
All
done
right.
this in a while.
2006?
Yep.
All-Star. Yep.
Was that
Pittsburgh.
yeah.
Second All-Star game.
Second All-Star game.
So that was the first WBC.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So
Aesop Choi
Team
was in that, I
Canada.
think.
35
won.
bombs,
David
109
Wright,
RBIs.
right?
Yep. Tomlin is gonna come on this podcast and talk to us about Jason Bay's
He's
2006 season.
Yeah. Which we know you guys want to hear over deadline talk.
Should the Pirates just trade us Skeens?
Should they what?
Just trade us Paul Skeens.
Good
Yeah.
take.
Well, that's solves so many problems.
Would you give up Danny Jansen though?
Well, no, of course not.
Someone has to work with him.
Yeah, which by the way, I'd like defensive catcher metrics, not something I'm usually looking at. Reese McGuire was apparently the best in the league at most of them, and then Danny Jansen can't do any of them.
Really?
We don't need anyone to do
Blocks
shit.
above average. Danny Jansen's
Yeah, he's
elite.
blocking balls in the dirt.
Well, that's something Connor Wong doesn't know how to do. I'll tell you that much.
No, I know, but it's like
geez.
all of our pitchers have better numbers with pitching to Reese than Wong.
Yeah, that is because I'll give Reese credit. He can frame. That's one thing that I don't believe Danny Jansen's too good at.
No.
And the pop time's not great either.
I saw Middlebrooks tweet about that.
Danny Jansen's pop time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 23rd percentile. But yeah, he's 98th percentile blocks above average.
Yeah, if we're gonna be playing Wong all over the field and getting Jansen back there like that, can't be the move.
He's got good bah.
Just bah.
Yeah, the blocks above averages. That's what I look for.
Yep.
I also looking for tickets at reasonable prices. Mm-hmm. You're going to find those on the Game Time app. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace in Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer that it gets to first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Shout out to Game Time for getting us into the Sox game on Friday. Best game of the year so far.
Mm-hmm.
You going to go to any games this week, Steve?
Probably not. Heading to the Cape.
Oh, the Cape.
Yep. Heading to the Cape.
What's down there?
Cape League playoffs.
Cape. Who's your team?
Harwich and Chatham.
No, you can only have one.
Harwich.
Okay. Tickets are free. You can just show up.
Yeah,
Cape
you do
and
not
that's-
need the Game Time app
Don't
for
need Game
Cape
Time.
League games.
I've been looking all night.
Yeah, you can just
Find
go.
your free tickets on the Game Time app.
Yep, they've got last minute deals. Save up to 60% off buying last minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Save even more with exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of the game or the event. You can save even more when you choose a section. You let Game Time choose the seats for you. All in pricing. Toggle this feature and it will show you the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. The lowest price guarantee or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry today. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code SECTION10 for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the promo code SECTION10, SECTION10 for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. My voice is starting to go.
Yeah, it is. Maybe it's time to shout out Stop and Shop.
Stop and Shop. Look at him.
You sound like me in Texas.
A little bit.
I'm not sick. I'm just fucking tired, dude. It's fucking 1 a.m., dude.
Give it time.
I'm tired, dude. Come
Tired,
on, dude.
I'm just tired. You know me. I like to be going to sleep.
It's the worst accent
That's
of all
why
time.
I'm tired.
It typically seems like 1 a.m. is what gets you.
Yeah,
Once you hit 1, you're like,
yeah.
you notice 1 every time it hits 1.
Yeah. Once it gets to 1, you're like, all right.
You can't. You can sneak some stuff by Jerry, but you can't sneak 1 a.m. past Jerry.
Yeah. Once you get there, you're like, man,
You're like, I see you 1.
Yeah, 1 a.m. You looking fine as hell tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Pivetta versus Logan Gilbert. James Paxton is making his Red Sox debut again for a second time versus Luis Castillo and Brian Bayo versus George Kirby. Logan Gilbert 6-6 with a 2.72 ERA and 0.86 WHIP and an 8.5 strikeouts per 9. He's got the best WHIP in Major League Baseball. He limits base runners better than anyone in the game. Has 10 starts with at least 7 strikeouts and has only accumulated less than 10 whiffs in a start 4 times this year out of 21 starts. He's only failed to complete 5 innings once and 6 innings 3 times. He's pitched into the 8th inning 5 times. His first start of the year came against the Red Sox, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. I remember that. That was like the, what was that, the game where he like walked someone and everyone was like, holy shit. This was like a historical event.
Yeah.
His overall pitching run value is 98th percentile with his breaking stuff and the 99th. The Mariners are 11 and 20 when he starts. as he has received 2 or fewer runs of support in 9 of 21 starts. Jesus Christ. Luis Castillo, 8-10, a 3.38 ERA, a 1.16 WHIP, and an 8.7 strikeouts per 9. A dude with a 3.38 ERA and a 3.63 FIP is easily the worst pitcher the Red Sox are going to face in this series. So that's encouraging. Castillo allowed 4 earned runs in his first 3 starts of the season, and then has only done it 3 more times total in his next 19 starts.
Can't stop, won't stop.
The Red Sox got to him in the first start of the season. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and a home run. He's been great in July. 4 starts, a 1.40 ERA. He's only allowed 1 home run. The Mariners are 10-12 when he starts. Similar to Gilbert, they have 8 games in which they have scored 2 runs or less for him. They are 1-7 in these games. When I tell you the Mariners offense is fucking horrendous, it is horrendous. It is awful. 8-7 for George Kirby. A 3.03 ERA, an 0.98 WHIP, and an 8.9 strikeouts per 9. Led the MLB with a 0.9 walks per 9 last year. He's now leading MLB this year with a 1 walks per 9. Why are you looking at me, Coley?
He has one walks per 9.
That can't be right. Unlike last year, he has more walks than home runs allowed. That's bad news. First time against the Sox, 6 2/3, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. In July, 5 starts, a 2.01 ERA, and a 5.44 opponent OPS. The Mariners are 10-12 when he starts. It's crazy. It's insane. Like, they're just like, yeah, this dude's nasty. They never win. This dude's nasty. They never win. Mariners are 10-12 when he starts because just like the other two, he has received 2 runs of support or less in 9 of 22 starts. They are 2-7 in these games. Again, that is Nick Pivetta versus Logan Gilbert, James Paxton versus Luis Castillo, and Brian Bayo versus George Kirby. Prediction time. Steven?
Yeah, just feels like a series they have to have. I know there's a lot that's going to happen in the next couple of days with the deadline coming up on Tuesday. The Sox have 58 games left in the season. James Paxton, who's making his second debut with the Sox, like you mentioned, has a 6.03 ERA since the start of June. Ooh-wee, that's not great.
Ooh-wee.
The thing I love about this series is what you mentioned. The Mariners cannot score runs. Their offense sucks. The Red Sox have given up 9 runs a game since the All-Star break. Obviously, that 20 spot in Denver didn't help that average, but still, 9 runs a game since the All-Star break. The issue has obviously been pitching, and the thing that helps the pitching is when the hitting sucks, and that's what is the case in Seattle. I'm going to be overly optimistic here because I think they need this series desperately. Red Sox win 2 out of 3.
Wow. Coley?
Like, the Mariners' offense does suck for sure. They've had Randy Arozarena for 1 game, and that's only 1 bat, but it's a difference-making bat. We also forget the number 1 hitter in the history of Fenway Park is Cal Raleigh, who is going to be playing in this series, and I believe is homered in his last 2 games. So he's seeing the ball well. The big dumper loves stroking it at Fenway Park.
Not the only catcher that does that.
No. I am
Rest in peace.
not as worried about the pitching. I actually think the matchups are pretty even other than the Paxton game. So I'm going to take... I agree with Steve. They need these games. They've needed all of these games, and they just haven't been super interested. So I'm going to say 1 out of 3.
T-Dog?
I'll be positive. I'll join Steve. I'll go 2 out of 3. Nick Pivetta, we know what it was. The last start was ugly, so he's about due for a good start. 3.65 ERA in 4 career starts against the Mariners. James Paxton, re-debuting with the Red Sox, but also going against his first organization in the Mariners. That makes me feel something. Alex Cora and Andrew Bailey watched him throw a bullpen today, and they seemingly were very positive. The fastball's popping. Paxton says he's figured out his arm path, which was a problem for him earlier in the year. I'm hoping we do see a version of Paxton that at least looks like the guy who faced the Red Sox, a week ago now. And then Brian Bayo in that last game, I don't feel overly confident about, even though he did beat the Mariners to start the season. 4.60 ERA over his last 5 starts. So, I'm not trying to crap on him, but the FIP has been a little bit better than that, but it's George Kirby. Give me wins in the first 2 games. I think Brian Bayo does all right in the third game against this crap offense, but this is going to be the series that the bullpen hopefully gets back on track because they'll have an addition over the next 48 hours.
Jake? Reverse sweep, fucking figure it out. Wow. Jake said reverse sweep, fucking figure it out. Damn.
Own them.
I mean, it's a necessary measure here. I was actually gonna do reverse sweep, but I can't steal Jake's thunder here. I'm gonna join Coley. I'm gonna go 1 out of 3. I'm gonna go 1 out of 3 and hoping for a pleasant surprise. But the Mariners just threw everything they got at us from a pitching standpoint. All that being said, I mean, it's not like, the Mariners can get, I believe they have the best pitching staff in the American League, and they still just, they're not winning the games that they should be winning. No. Or as many games as they could be winning if they just even had a half decent offense. They are bottom third across the board offensively at every position they've got.
Julio's been dreadful, and he's not even playing at the moment.
No.
High ankle sprain.
Yep. Randy Rosarena can't do it all.
No JP Crawford either.
I mean, he's been fucking ass too offensively.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they had Julio on like every billboard in Texas. The stuff that like was already there leading up to the All-Star game. And I was like, wait, did he have like a really good 3 weeks or something that I just missed? It's like, no, he's definitely not here.
He's just very marketable.
Yep, true.
1 out of 3.
After their owner, when he was still like 18, was like, this guy will never be marketable. He doesn't speak the language. He was like, I'm super fluent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Steve?
Weather look ahead, brought to you by Billy's Gummy Bears.
Chew 'em with your mouth.
Chew 'em with your mouth. Monday series opener, 7:10 p.m. Eastern first pitch. Few showers around first pitch, 70 degrees, 31% chance of rain. 9-mile-an-hour winds. Don't love that. Tuesday, however, really nice night at the ballpark. 7:10 p.m. first pitch as well. Partly cloudy, 80 degrees. 6% chance of rain. Going to be windy, 14-mile-an-hour winds on Tuesday. Wednesday, series finale. Thank goodness. It is at 4:10 p.m. Eastern, but is it going to stay at 4:10 p.m. Eastern? Thunderstorms in the area. 53% chance of rain. 13-mile-an-hour winds. Showers for most of the day, but it's going to be 76 degrees.
Oh, Jake! Yeah, baby.
At first pitch.
I don't give a shit if it's pouring out. If it's 76... show me your tits. 76, baby. Let's go.
We're stroking dicks for 76.
He's all got to go on shirts.
Tyler is going to be standing in the outfield, soaking wet, dumping them titties out.
I'll lay it all out there, baby.
Yeah, that's going to be a hell of an evening.
That'll do it for your weather look ahead, which is brought to you by Billy's Gummy Bears. Chew them with your mouth.
Do you feel responsible at all that you said it wasn't going to rain during the series and it basically poured out?
I never said specifically it wasn't going to rain during the series. The fact that it didn't even cause a delay, I'm not really worried about it. It sprinkled a little. I mean, it drizzled a little bit, whatever.
Yeah.
I just wanted us to be drizzling.
If I went to the game, I would have been pissed.
Yeah, it's all good. I was pissed too. I mean, they lost.
Like going to the game being like, yeah, Steve said it's not going to rain. So
I don't know if I specifically said that, but
I think you said like, a lot of people were pissed.
I said it was going to be a beautiful weather series, and for like 90% of it, it was. Yeah, that's true.
For like 66% of it.
No. It didn't rain the whole game.
There's no way to know. We weren't there.
That's true. No way to know.
A lot of people were pissed.
That's all good.
Do you want to apologize?
I don't think it's at apology level because there was no delay.
All right, but people got wet because of you, I'm assuming.
Just it happens.
Say sorry to the people that got wet.
I don't think I'm honest when the apology is necessary. I don't think it's necessary.
I'm just telling you that I think that if it were me and I listened to this podcast,
you know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to do like when an athlete does one of those apology things, but they don't really mean it. Like if you were offended by my weather report, I am truly sorry that that's the case.
Okay.
There you go.
Final thoughts?
Yeah. Final thoughts. Got a couple. I thought
I hate final thoughts. Go ahead.
All right, I'll be fast. Can I be fast?
Yeah.
You asked me.
I got prospects to talk about, Steve. Let's go.
Okay, sorry. I know Tyler's not going to like this one. Yeah. I thought the Randy Arozarena thing was so cool at Tropicana. It's like the first cool thing I've ever seen at Tropicana, where he's probably the coolest player they've ever had, and he's just hanging out in the stands, saying farewell to the 5 fans that were at the game.
Why do you always do that?
What? Sorry, saying farewell to the fans that were at the game. I just thought that was really a cool baseball moment. You don't really get to see that too often. It reminds me when Joe Kelly was in the crowd when he was suspended after the fight. Shout out to Mike Sullivan, who went to Taco Bell to get posada sauce. And it's just, here's the thing, Mike. That Taco Bell was just out of the posada sauce. So it's not like they don't know what you were talking about. They just didn't have any left in stock. And a final shout out. I should have done this a couple episodes ago.
Dan Peralt.
Not to Dan. Shout out
the
to
best.
Yeah, shout out to Dan
Peralt.
Shout out to McKay and Phil from Utah. Spent a little bit of time with them during the All-Star game. Huge Section 10 fans.
Yeah.
And I told them I would give them a shout out on the show. So here it is. You guys are great. And we were talking right before the Duran homer, then saw the homer together. Fun time there with Demon.
My final thought, shout out to Dan Peralt.
Yeah. He gets a lot of love on this show.
Yeah. Shout out to Dan.
The best Peralt.
Because, the number one Peralt for now 61 consecutive weeks.
I think it's years. Okay.
61 consecutive weeks. Dan Peralt on top. No signs of slowing down.
Was it me 62 weeks ago?
No, I think it was your dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did buy a house around then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coley.
Either just win baseball games or fucking sell. Just do it, like one of them. Just figure it out. That's it.
Tyler?
Shout out David Sandlin. Debuted at Double-A today.
Oh, yeah.
4 innings, 2 hits, 1 runner, and 3 Ks, 0 walks. People aren't totally hip yet, but trust me, soon he'll be looked at as the best pitching prospect in the system.
Very low bar.
Fair point, but Luis Perales is hurt, so let's be nice. I know Coley will appreciate this.
Zach Penrod
deserves some love, but he's elderly. Mikey Romero at the same time, 4 for 5 today with a double, 2 homers and 3 RBIs. He's been going off this month. OPS is now almost over 800. Feels like Mikey Romero's stock is on the way back up. I don't know if that'll mean, some team will want him at the deadline, but at the bare minimum, he'll be a real piece possibly to be moved over the off season.
Jake's takes.
61, baby.
61, baby.
Shout out Dan Peralt.
Yep.
What's his middle name?
Joseph.
Okay. DJ. Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening. If you guys did the stream.
I know.
If you guys did the stream and then woke up and how long have we been going, Jake?
Wow.
That's it?
Wow.
Fuck.
It
I
felt
could have
like that.
sworn this
Great
was a
job
4.5
by all of
hour
us.
pod. Yeah.
That's impressive.
It's a lot of talking. Thank you if you watched the stream with us tonight live and you were in the chat and then you woke up and took in the 10. We appreciate you guys. I know it's a rough patch right now. The second half has not been fun.
No.
I'm not having fun. I'm a little discouraged, but I'm not hopping off the horse. I don't know if that's the saying.
It is.
It's close enough.
Ride that horse.
Yeah, I'm riding the horse.
Stay on the horse, everyone.
I'm staying on the horse. I'm just a little down, but it's a bump in the road. We're 1 game out of a playoff spot. It's not time to mail it in. The next time that we see each other, we'll be on Unobstructed Views on Nesson Plus Tuesday night against the Mariners.
Big night for you, right after the deadline.
Big night. An hour after the deadline. So I'm either going to be infuriated or very happy.
Do you know who you're going to be doing it with that day?
Lenny DiNardo.
Ooh.
Nice.
I thought you were going to say Dykstra.
Lenny's been doing some good bits. He's had some bits on the talk.
Yep.
Credit to him.
Yep. Me and Lenny. I don't know who's going to be on the table yet. I haven't been told. But it's me and Lenny on Tuesday night. But the next time we meet on the 10, it'll be in a post-trade deadline world. Everything is going to change or everything's going to be the same. We'll find out then. We love you guys. Goodbye.
Buenas noches, amigos.